Let's get it. All right. I'm gonna blow this up real quick. Blow this up real quick, you know? I don't think it's big enough. It's big enough for the both of us. Big enough for the both of us. Mm-hmm. This town ain't big enough for the both of us. Let me see something. What's the chances of a guy named Kevin coming in here? Same name as me. Wow. The chances. Who's the chances, man? Wow. Let me get these invites out. Let's see. There's some more of the groups up in here. Why don't it work the same way? I don't know. Let me see something real quick. What I'm doing. What that I'm doing. What that there. I think I sent the invite to everybody. I think. From what I think. What I thought and what I think. Let's see. Alright, there you go. I sent them invites out. Alright, it's Friday. We about to get it going, get this going, you know? Let me see. Y'all come up in here, man. Tap it up for me real quick. Send some shares. If you alive in here, send some shares. Shares, tap it up. Get this party started. Let's get this party started. Let me see something. Let's send that heart. Boom. With the heart. Okay. Add a comment. Yo. Put down. No. Alright. Hold up, y'all. Alright, I'm back. I just got a phone call. What's the deal?
Welcome to the live. It is Leona Davis in the building. What's up? TGIF, right?
TGIF. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and get these likes on up real quick. Let me see. I feel like, did I send it to enough people? Okay. I don't know. I don't know what you heard about me. I don't know what you heard about me. I don't know what you heard about me. 'Cause I'm a heard about me. What you got up this Friday, Miss Leona? Miss Leona. Alright, get her. Someday, oh, that I can make you mine. Don't let another man steal your heart. Doing great today. There you go. That's what I like to hear. That is what I like to hear, man. Let's get it going, man. We about to see how this Friday gonna go real quick. The little few hours I got. I got close to 3 hours. Close. A little close. I might can do up to 10 a day. Just depend on how the live flow. Depend on how I flow, man. Just gotta get these. I'm almost at 1,000, man. When y'all got them fingers working. You gotta work. Get me some water. Some water. Water. Oh my. Why he being so aggressive? Living life, living right, kind of something that I mess with it. So, is the topic clear? Can you see the topic clear up there? I'll be messing up every now and then. Can't get it going. I found me a little spot to put it at now, so I can be able to maybe get seen. Can you see it? Oh man. So since I'm at 1,000, I'm gonna go ahead and start it on up. You say you can see it? Oh yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it on up, man. I guess. So the topic, man. If you still waiting on this thing called true happiness, I got bad news for you. Who's this? Geo. Boy, this thing is why don't ever be right? My boy got a doggy dog, a Snoop Doggy dog in the picture.
Yo, that's Scrappy, you heard? Put some respect on his name.
Scrappy.
That's his name,
I
yo.
hear
Put some
you.
respect on him. Nah, but you're right,
What's the
man.
deal, man?
Happiness is the acceptance of suffering. And you know what? I love who I chose to suffer with because to expect it denies neglecting it. So I'm always true when I fall, because when I lose, I learn. But when you win, you just win. So happiness is like the after. You know what I'm saying? Like when you wash a car, it's dirty, like the before and after. You
Mm.
know, you gotta go through it,
Wow.
but people want to read about it instead of
So
be about it.
say that definition again. You said happiness is what?
I made that shit up, brother.
I was about to, I was ready for you to say. I was ready to see what you.
Because in the day of our Lord, all right, here's where we at in the church of men, all right. We need to focus on ourselves, because in ourself lies in it the true wealth, right?
Yeah.
Laugh at life, because whether you laugh or learn with Kev, the court jester always reminded the king of his humanity.
Right.
The king is happiness. The king is that unachievable title. We're all peasants as we look upon the king. Let's be jokers, right? Don't
Mm.
give the game away. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think about it, bro, like if you get past the insults and everyone's emotions, we're all playing the same game. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Right.
supposed to be
Right.
difficult, you know, but
We are most definitely just it comes in different forms. That's all it is. We on the
but Disney
same
played
thing
the
but
fuck
different
out of us.
forms.
Disney played the fuck out of us, yo. We thought we had to be Prince
Oh yeah.
Charming's, you know, sword in hand. Now we get yelled at for opening doors. It makes no sense.
hmm So yeah, as we see the topic, you know what I'm saying? It do say we got so if you still waiting on this thing called true happiness, because I hear a lot of people say this stuff. When I do this, this is gonna be true happiness, or
Do you think
this
we?
and that gonna be true happiness, you know?
Do you think if we even entertained it, do we deserve true happiness as individuals? Like when people say, "Oh, I
As an
deserve to be
individual,
happy."
uh, I'll be hearing that too a lot. Like, what did we do to deserve anything? How do you pay for that? I deserve to be happy. Then be happy. Be happy. Happy is peace. Okay, let me stop. Uh, yeah.
What's going on, Leona? How are you?
Good, good.
Leona. Oh, I mean, I forgot to hit you up, Gio, with the.
Welcome to the live. It's Geo vs. TTV. Watch out.
There we go.
Shit.
I forgot to say that part. You.
Yo.
All
Oh
right, let me
shit.
go ahead and hit this topic on up and say y'all my interpretation of what I mean about yeah. Like, all right. So the topic is if you still waiting on this thing called true happiness, man, I got bad news for you. You will never find it. You know. So the reason why I say that is because like we try to put our happiness on everything but ourselves. Like we say that, when I go to a summer beach or something like that, I'm gonna be truly happy. You know what I'm saying? That's just something I always wanted to do. It's gonna make me so happy, right? Uh, when I find the right person that's in my life, I'm gonna be truly happy. I'm gonna be truly happy, right? We use stuff like that, right?
But you got to be truly happy within yourself, you know?
Yeah,
That's what you got
yeah.
to do.
There you go. We getting it. We getting it. I feel you on that. I feel you. Exactly. That's the whole thing, man. And
But
not
doesn't
even is
divorce
it.
kind of happen for the pursuit of happiness? Think about that. People give up on relationships because the pursuit of the unforeseen happiness, right?
Right.
So
Right.
it's like like reverse psychology thing. Like to find happiness, do you let go of things that don't make you happy, or things that you perceive to not be enough? You know what I'm saying?
So to do that, I thought about something we used yesterday. Sometimes you just gotta change your happiness. That's all. You gotta
Right.
change it. You gotta change what made you happy and see if it's more healthy for your life or is it more non-healthy basically. So a lot of times we get happy off the stuff that ain't really happy, that's not healthy in our life, you know what I'm saying? So
Well, Kev, shit. What makes you happy?
getting
Like what
fit
brings
and
you
your
the most
health looking
happiness
good,
in
that
life?
makes you happy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, here we go. So
Mm-hmm.
so so you owe a lot to your barber? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, you said a barber.
I said so you owe a lot
What
to
about
your
the barber?
barber because when we look good, we feel good type shit. I don't have hair, so I wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying?
That's shining though. That boy's shining. So look, you know what I'm saying? We can make the best out of everything. You
I
know?
just received I received that prana in a way because I have an opening, But no, but honestly, how does
Yeah.
self-esteem play? Like how we feel about ourselves? Because I think Leona hit it right in the money. Be secure in ourselves, be happy within ourselves. So how can we improve how we look at ourselves to where anything
Right.
around us doesn't phase us?
Yeah.
Impervious, right?
Right.
What's, what's going on, respect?
I'm cooling with down with y'all.
Give him the
Hi.
intro. Give him the intro. Give him the
Oh, let
intro.
me go hit him up real quick.
Welcome to the live. It is respect my mind. You know what I'm saying? I wish you could.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
What's the deal? Welcome to the look.
What's that? Y'all
But
freezing up.
Yeah,
you
you
said
freezing
what?
up a little bit.
You said on what?
No, I was saying y'all look like y'all freezing up on the
I was
host.
freezing. Oh my! Somebody must be on my internet or something. I did just see my phone. Did you hear the intro? Or did it go
Yeah.
out? It probably went
Now
out.
I
We
heard the
got it.
intro.
We
That bit
got
was dope. That bit was
Okay,
dope.
make sure.
Appreciate
Make
that.
sure. I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? Took a
it.
lot of energy to do that. You know.
I feel you. But I was reading like the
But
title. You say true happiness will never come.
you said what?
True happiness. You said that you'll never find true happiness.
Yeah. No, then you wouldn't. No, no, actually I say if you still looking for, if you still waiting on it. That's what I said. If you waiting on it, because some people be saying I'm waiting on it.
Oh yeah. You got to be happy with yourself. You hear me? And accept all your
Exactly.
downfalls and shortcomings in order for you to actually be genuinely happy. And and follow what
Mm-hmm.
what your heart tell you to do, and have principles and morals and shit to be happy. But like that, just my personal opinion. I don't know if people be
Yeah.
looking excited all the time about life, and that's just not what reality is. Too many
Right.
movies. Too many
Just sitting there
movies.
like
Yeah, you gotta have those real friends out there to make
right,
you
the
happy,
Disney
not
movies.
no deadbeat friends, Real friends,
Yeah.
real blood friends, good friends,
Yeah.
that'll truly
And
make you
even that,
happy.
you shouldn't have to count on them either for your
True.
so-called true happiness. I mean, people got to realize that, and that's what I'm getting to. Like, happiness is just it's a feeling. It's a quick feeling. Just
Right.
like being mad, sad, all that stuff is a feeling. It's a quick feeling or something like that. So there's nothing like really true about any of that stuff if you really think about it, because it's temporary. It's so temporary and short. You can prolong it for a little minute, but just staying like that, I doubt that it'll even work like that, because there's so much stuff that be happening in our life for it to just stay that way.
See,
So like, so what?
oh, I was about to say, but you were talking. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. But the thing people don't realize will come after happiness is boredom, because it's no longer exciting once you get it. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people go from happy to boredom. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So yeah, that's like the. I just always hear a lot of women say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for true happiness and da 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 da. But they, like you said, it's just a feeling that they're chasing, and it's like a junkie. Once you get that first hit, and you're gonna keep chasing it, you'll never feel the same though.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to. Yep. That's exactly what I'm meaning too. It's like buying that, this thing that you always wanted to buy and stuff. And as soon as you get it, yeah, of course you happy for that quick moment, feel good. Ah, yes. Ooh. Eventually you gonna get exactly what you said, bored. And that's exactly what I'll get to, because you get bored. Like you don't be happy too long. Like even if you got a partner, right? They can make you happy for only so long, but if you keep doing the same thing, you're gonna eventually like, all right, bro, I need my space. Come on, chill. You know what I'm saying? I can't just, we got to change some stuff up. We got to mix some things up to make it fun again. So it's like that. All that stuff is just temporary, man. And I'm like, dog, what is? I still don't know what this thing called true happiness. Like, what is that? Like, people just got this. I think that's just some made up stuff that somebody just came up with because, like, how can you determine the level? Like, oh, I guess you say this is. It's basically like you limit yourself. Like, if I do this gonna be my most happiness out of your whole entire life. Like, nothing else can make you more happy. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
just, I don't know. It's weird. You limit yourself. So you basically saying you going down from there. Oh, this is my true happiness. I mean, everything else is just below that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, you just got your moments. That's all it is. You keep
Yeah,
comparing
but
it to that one thing, then you ain't gonna never be happy.
the way our society is set up, though, you hear me? Everybody feel like, oh, I'm supposed to be happy. I'm supposed to, living my best life and all that weird shit. Like none of that. All that is just phrases. None of that is real life.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care how much money you got. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how many cars you got. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a human, you're not gonna be happy. If you're not working out
Mm-hmm.
and you look in the mirror, you're gonna be sad because your clothes not fitting right. You know what I'm saying? If you're not washing your car, it's gonna be dirty. You're gonna think you're gonna look down on it. If you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, you're never gonna be happy. And if you can't understand that you got duties and responsibility that you have to take care of in life, it's always gonna fall apart. And so it's always gonna fall apart. It ain't never gonna work out the way you want it to. But yeah, that's just all I wanted to add to it. And I kind of wanted to know what true happiness was too for a minute. But after I sat down and really thought about it, there's no such thing. Even I just read something Cardi B said. Cardi B said, "I got everything I could ever dream of in so many words, and I'm still bored. Like it's boring." She happy, and she
That's what I'm
went from
saying.
happy to bored. Now she's bored, and she rich. Her husband rich. She got fame. She got everything you
Mm-hmm.
could ever imagine, and she's still
Yep.
bored. She
Exactly.
so so I don't
That's the
even
same.
know, huh?
No, I'll say that's the exact same thing. Like where people be thinking that like money's supposed to make you happy and all that stuff. Like even the way you feel before the money is gonna be the same. It's like the way you spend your money or the way you manage your money is gonna be the same way when you get more money. You know what I'm saying? Money don't, and that is true. Money don't make you happy. I mean, maybe for a moment or something like that. But then again, if you don't know, you don't find that happiness within yourself, like that can't. You can only buy so much. And when you do that, all you're gonna do is it's gonna be going back low again because you don't know how to find happiness within yourself. You think that buying yourself these sweet cars and all that stuff, yeah, that's a quick little feeling. But then again, just like you said, that's all she can do from that point. What else can you do? You back bored again because you don't know what else to do. you know.
Because people don't know themselves. They don't. A lot of people don't even have hobbies, like like real
Yep.
hobbies. You ask somebody, what you about to get into? "Oh, I'm going to chase that bag," and all like everything about the bag, and or just some frivolous shit is never something that don't cost nothing, that means nothing, that people love to do. Like people don't have like just regular hobbies, like let's just go shoot ball. I don't do
Right.
that no more, man. I gotta chase this bag, man. I ain't playing no. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
everything is the same. It's all the same. So that's why
Exactly.
everybody's so messed up. Everybody
Like
messed up.
robots.
Yeah.
like robots. That's just crazy. Oh, you chasing the bag? I'm chasing the bag too. How much you get? I got $25. What you get? Man,
that's what
so
it
crazy.
is. So,
And you gotta literally find that stuff within yourself. You got to, man. And I still don't want to say that. That's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just a moment at the end of the day. You can't depend on, everything else. You can't depend on a person to make you happy. Can't depend on a career to make you happy. All that stuff. It's like you gotta be able to, you gotta find multiple ways or multiple things just to even juggle it. Man, what the heck? You gotta be able to juggle it, right? Put your tongue away, Miss Poet. Let me hit you up real quick. Hold up.
If it isn't still a poet, niche is in the building. What it do?
But yeah, like if you looking forward to like, oh, I know if I get the person like this and that, I know I'm gonna truly be happy. You know what I'm saying? You get it, and that's what be happening. That is what be happening. Why a lot of these relationships, just especially if we want to talk about that, that's why a lot of that fail because they look for their relationship to make them truly happy. You know what I'm saying? And it never turns out how they want it because eventually it just get boring, right? Then they be looking at their partner like, okay, oh, that kind of happened to me before too, where when they seen how stuff get real, right? When you really in a relationship, it ain't as big as how the delusion made it, right? 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
you got asked. I got asked the question like, "Is this it?" You know what I'm saying? Is this it? This what we do or something? Like, what you expect? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have fun every last single day because you still got to live life. People be thinking you could just get in a relationship and then, oh, this gonna be fun every day, every hour. You gonna do what I want, and you know what I'm saying? Just to find out that we are not robots to one another. You know what I'm saying? We all our own person that got our own mentality and stuff. So there's no way that you can use another person for your happiness because that's not guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna go your way all the time. And even if somebody was to go your way all the time, right? That'll get boring too. That'll get boring too, because you like, what the heck? Do you got a backbone? Like, do you know how to say no sometimes? Do you gotta do everything I tell you? Like, what the heck? I might as well bought me a robot.
Right, right. Let, let me ask you
Right.
this: what you think the new phrase should be to combat the true happiness and all that? What you think the phrase should be?
Ask that one more time, my bad, bro.
What you think the new phrase should be to combat the true happiness phrase?
Oh, new phrase. That's a good one. I would say, enjoy every moment.
That I was
Something
thinking
like
the
that.
same
Something close to
thing.
that. I would say something like that. Even when it's enjoy living. You know what I'm saying? Just say that because even waking up, you could be happy that you woke up. Right? It gets to the point like you got to start being happy about the littlest things. Like you got to be in love with the littlest things. You got to all this stuff. You got to start off with the littlest stuff.
That is right
Happy
there.
that you made it to work on time or it's stuff like that.
Be happy with the little things. That's it right there.
Yep,
Yeah,
got to.
yeah,
Oh,
that's it
hold up.
right.
If it isn't lovely in the building, what's the deal, fam? Yep, joy. That's what. Oops.
I forgot to put my voice back regular. Yeah, joy. That is what you get out of it. That's what That's the thing that lasts as long. You can get joy out of a lot of stuff though, but that's the goal. I realize peace make me happy. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Facts. I like being bored. I love being bored, though. I
hey,
love
you
being
know what I'm
bored.
saying? And even with that, you see the good in that situation. Like, man, I'm safe. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to worry about nothing. I'm cool. Hey, it is what it is. I get the rest.
Right, right.
Be happy to go
Takes
to
me.
bed sometimes. That's when you know you get old.
Yeah, exactly. Let me see, being bored is being still.
Yeah. So what is true? So man, y'all made it too easy for. Well, hold up. So Leona, how you felt about it? I didn't get to ask you all the way. How you feel about it?
About happiness, I did answer it.
Oh, you did.
Hmm.
Okay. Let me see. Let me
I
see. Let me
know
see.
I first. What did I say about? within ourselves. Remember, I said we got to love ourself
Right. Oh
first.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Remember?
yeah, 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 yeah. Got to, man. Got to start with self. And that's the reason why, because I'm trying to get some people up here that don't know, so I can don't even. Oh, I know. I'm gonna find it when I get to kiss the frog, and or if I want to find it when I get the big mansion or so. Or let me do the dude voice too for people get all like, what you mean, buddy? What the girls do? Well, I'm about to find it when I get the fat booty there with the girl and all that stuff, stuff like that. I'm waiting for one of them people to come up here, just so I can get to somewhere. But y'all already ready. Y'all already got y'all head on, man. Y'all already knew it. Ain't making no fun. I'm bored. We were just talking
My
about
bad, my bad, dog. You,
that.
at
My
least you're
bad.
smiling, brother. At least you're smiling. You
Right,
hear me?
exactly. I'm happy now because people understand.
Damn,
Find
boredom is
happiness out of
happiness.
everything.
Boredom is happiness, dog. Boredom is happiness, dog.
That's what man. That's it. All come away understanding at the end of the day. That's why I be always telling people like understanding is the key to life for real, man. I'm a firm believer on that because even when they say, "Oh, communication is the key," but like we communicate to understand. I think understanding itself, like when you just try to understand life itself and all that, it makes it so much easier when you try to figure things out and understand people, even if they speak a whole nother language. You can still understand them like off just body language or the way they go. You can understanding is deep, man. It helps a lot. Helps a lot, man. You got to understand yourself first. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff got to be with self first before you can even, push anything on anybody else. Got
Right.
to. Everything else should be an addition to your life. It shouldn't, you shouldn't be your life. It should be addition to your life after you got your life together. Understanding leads to discernment, right? Yep. Helps you judge situations and experiences. Yep. 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 You wouldn't be scared. You wouldn't have that doubt and stuff. That's why when I had that topic yesterday, I'm like, yeah, you would know. You would know when you healed. You would know a lot of stuff. When you not scared. When you truly know yourself and when you really know what you want and all that stuff in life. Because a lot of people really don't know. Like when I be asking the question, and I can understand because even when I can't say I was younger, but back then I used to be like that. I didn't really know what I want. I just know that, if you talk about relationship, like I know a pretty face and this stuff. As long as you treat me right, and it's a funny story though. I want to say, well, even with my last situation, man, and it was funny. It was like God hit me on something different. I literally got everything I wanted, like in my book. That's the only reason why I actually decided because I was really picky at being in a relationship. If I was really talking about like a relationship, I think I've been in one serious relationship in my whole life, and that was up to like 30, right when I was in there. Because otherwise, I was very picky. I wasn't trying to be no player. I wasn't doing none of that stuff. I was messing with chicks. I had a few chicks I was messing with, but throughout my life, throughout my life or whatever, but it was nothing really serious because I just knew in my mind, like, man, nah, I'm good. They ain't it. And it was always something silly reason why I didn't want to be serious with them and stuff. So it was like really just friends with benefits type stuff or whatever. But that one series one, and that's when I was like, man, I know this got to be the one. This is right, and she do this. She play the video game. I love that. She good in, you know what I'm saying? She good at that, right? And then she pretty, and she go to cook and all this stuff. And I'm like, this got to be the one. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care no more. But then it's like God threw a curveball at me though, because he like, yeah, you swear you know who you swear this is it, but let me show you something real quick. So I was overlooking the stuff that I really needed. That's why I'm coming with this saying now, y'all. The reason why I say we got to start looking more at our needs more than our wants, and that's the problem. We always go for our wants, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once I start, and that's why I said once I sacrifice a lot of my wants, I really seen what I needed and stuff. And I was like, hold up. Even with that situation, that only prolonged so long because she, looked good, treated me good, all this stuff. But the most important thing was I overlooked the fact that peace wasn't a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Peace is a good thing, but I'm just saying peace wasn't part of that situation, right? Some person ain't even understand. She didn't understand me. That's what I say is two things I need is understanding and peace. They didn't understand me, so everything was like turning back towards, my way. Um, it was like, and she didn't even understand herself, so it was like, dang. Even me, I can say, like I said, I can't just, I'm not talking about Because like I said, I can't talk about it's stuff. It was experience. That's all it is. But what I was getting at that situation is that, it ain't always about your wants and stuff. It was all that stuff, and that's why I swear I thought she was the one because of all the wants. They can't mute. What you talking
That
about?
she was satisfying you with.
Yeah, it was and even that is right. It was and then the way she was talking, I was, she sounded like she knew what she was talking about and all that stuff. A lot of people, and she's smart and all that stuff. So it was like I be forgetting. Not now I noticed that's one thing I noticed is like even with like a lot of chicks, they like really really smart. But when it comes to that emotions, when emotions take over, that's why I teach about emotional control and all that stuff because like if you don't got that thing could take over and will knock your smartness out the way. All that logic and stuff will go out the window as soon as you get in your emotion. You know what I'm saying? Now you talking crazy. I don't care. You heard me, this, but all anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the heck? What
Hmm.
was this person that got all these degrees and stuff? Like, why you don't sound like this? It's just weird to me. So, like I said, basically, what I got out of that is like I said, you gotta it wasn't about how much of stuff I wanted. Now, when I thought it was the one, and then that's why I said I got lucky that I didn't get no kid out that situation. So that's why I said that was a curveball, and it made me realize that I had more stuff I had to work on. Because even with me, like my patience was low. When I felt like the person was being ungrateful, I used to get mad. I used to snap and stuff like dog and cussing each other out. That's like a lot of stuff I had to work on myself because I wasn't perfect either. Of course, there was some stuff I worked on, but it was just I can't put it all on her. But then again, I made that selection to be with that chick or whatever. So, but like I said, it was a lesson, man. It was just really a lesson. It wasn't all about what I want. That's the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to work on what you need, like and peace and can't say happiness because happiness come in different forms. So you don't want to go just straight off happiness. That's my problem. I went for happiness, right?
Peace and
Uh,
joy.
Peace,
Right.
yeah,
Integrity.
joy. Yep, joy. All the important stuff, like the stuff that the hippies do. Peace, love, happiness. Peace, love, love. You know what I'm saying? Even that get dangerous too. So you want to be leery on what you love too. You know what I'm saying? People be loving the wrong things sometimes though. So I started learning how to love the mentality now. You know what I'm saying? That mentality makes somebody look sexy now. You know what I'm saying? Hold up, real quick. Let me get my.
If it isn't Miss Stays on top, what's the deal? How you doing, sister? How you feeling?
You just proved
Because
such a good point, Kev, because if you think about it, every time you're emotional, you got to kind of ask yourself, what do I need? What do I need right now in this emotion?
Mhm.
And that's usually what it is. You're missing something. You're needing
Well,
something when
nadays
you're
I
having
need a blunt. That's
emotion.
what they gonna say, stuff like that. Like, no, no, you don't. You choose the blunt. You want that. You need to figure a way how to need a blunt so you can get yourself together. You got to spend $5 to get your head straight. That's sad. You know what I'm saying? That's
Well,
why I actually. That's why I was thinking about that today too. I was talking to my boy like, dog, we don't realize we be chained, and that's why I try to limit my chains on all type of stuff. I don't want to be chained to anything. I really want to be able to find everything. Ooh, let's talk to you, Miss Stays. Come on up. You already know how I am. You know how I am. Let's go ahead and hear your true happening. But or I don't know. I don't want to put you in a hot seat either. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you coming up? She coming up for the challenge. She want to challenge her brother. Okay. So what was I getting to with this, man? But what was I saying? What the freak?
you actually, well, I don't know. I'm
Change,
going
You don't
back to
want to be
what
change,
you're,
chained to nothing. Yeah,
change, brother,
you ain't want to be
I'm,
change.
chained to nothing.
You
I'm
limit
going
your
back to what you
change.
said about love. You said we have to be careful with that because some people's idea of love is different than your idea of love. Because
Oh yes.
if you've never experienced love the way that if you don't give yourself the love the way that you want it presented to you, how are you going to know when it's presented to you? How are you going to know if you don't define it within yourself? These days, where you been?
My jump
Oh,
lag. I'm back. I should be back.
Hey, hey,
Dang.
everybody said, hey, Sister
There you
Lovely,
go. There you
what's
go.
up?
hi.
I've been around. I got suspended for the first time. I said a bad word.
What?
Y'all know I
Oh,
don't
you said
curse.
a bad word?
Welcome to the
I
fam
said,
now. Welcome.
I said the G word. I said Gay. I didn't know it was a bad
Mm.
word.
Yeah, they
Um,
don't play with that. Yeah, they don't play with that. I got it once off the four letter one, the H one, HOM. You know what I'm saying? I think I got toe up off that just for playing around because somebody was in the shower. And I was like, no, that word. I was about to mess up already. Know that word, and then 4 minutes later, you are suspended for a whole week. I'm like, dog, come on. Do I gotta
the
flip
only
my
time
wrist
I've been
before? Let me.
suspended was on Kev's live. Remember? That's the only
It was, and you said that R word. That's what messed you up.
I,
You
I
followed,
tried to fix it. I tried to fix it, and it wasn't even my comment. I was just trying to
and it
fix
wasn't even
anyway.
you, right? It was somebody else that
Right.
made you do it. You right? That is R.
I do believe
Then it got you
in.
about it like a pirate. R. But
I do
what you got,
believe.
Miss Stays, man? This about to be juicy. I hope you up for the challenge. You already know I am.
Yeah,
It's all
absolutely.
love at the end of the day.
I do believe in true happiness, but I believe it comes from things that are not of this world.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And I think it
Plot
comes
twist.
from intangibles. So, and I do think it has a lot to do with identity. So, for a long time, I was not comfortable with who I was because I wasn't like other people in my generation. So I'm 30 years old and I've been to two clubs and one bar my entire life. I don't
Mm,
I don't like doing things that other people my age, especially women my age like to do. It's not common until you get like
mm-hmm,
social media and you find platforms of women who are like-minded, then it's easier. But being like younger, that was hard. So I would try to be something I wasn't just so I wouldn't
mm-hmm.
be so alone. And I'm happy that I'm finding my way out of that. But I think a lot of people are stuck in that space and that's why they're not happy. And someone roasted me on TikTok because I said I like to get my clothes from Old Navy. That's what I like. Like I'm not like one of the. I'm just learning how to pronounce Hermes or Hermes or whatever. Like I don't. I'm not into stuff like that. But that's what I
Mm-hmm.
like. If you like fancier things, then you like fancier things. But I always say this on my platform: choose your love and love your choice. And when you love your choices, you have true happiness.
Mm, 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 mm.
And now
Mm.
that is such a point proven, Stays, because you choose your choice. You get to choose your happiness. Happiness is created; it's not given.
Exactly.
People
Exactly.
want
I would say.
people to. That's what validation comes from. People want people to tell them that, oh, this is how you. This is how you're happy. This is how you're gonna have peace. But if you don't find it within yourself, how are you even going to accept it the way that they give it to you?
Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and blow a little twist now. Now I got to work the brain. So you said, all right. So to you, Miss Stays, what's the difference between happiness and true happiness?
So I think happiness is something that is temporary. It's like an emotion, right? But true happiness is a state of being. It's a space of contentment. I'm happy with being married. That's a lifelong commitment. That's not going to change unless myself or my husband uh, are unalived for any reason. I'm happy with being a mother. That's another lifelong commitment. That's not going to change. These are states of existence. However, if I eat a bowl of Ben and Jerry's half baked, that also makes me happy. But that's one that's tangible. That's something of this world, and it's very temporary. It will end.
But isn't life itself temporary?
That's true. Yeah, life is temporary. Life does come
Mm.
to an end.
I actually like your first answer way better when you said that you said true happiness is not. You started off saying, and I feel that too. Now, if we is talking about something off Earth, right? If we talking about something off Earth, yeah, I think that's where the true happiness is. That's why I do feel like. But in anything that's temporary, especially on Earth, and especially how feelings are, feelings itself is all that stuff is temporary, right? So that's the That's the only reason why I say that I don't believe there's no such thing as no true happiness, because that's like saying it's true anger, right? It's like saying it's true it's true what's the other one? True boredom. true true lust, or I don't know. Is that a feeling?
You know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
that
I don't know.
reminds me of? When you put true in front of it, it's almost like perfect happiness or perfect this or perfect that. Like, is there anything that's perfect? Is perfectly imperfect, I guess. But that's like trying to say that perfect happiness.
Because even if you in a say you say are if you are in a I get you in the law in a marriage, but even a marriage or a mother, it's not like you be happy all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like that means you happy even when you wake up with a smile, like hi, you know what I'm saying? I love you, cats, even if you're bad. you know, stuff like that. But I'm just saying, like, it's gonna get to a point where even happiness, like even so long, you get it turns to like we was mentioning earlier, it turns to boredom. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can only be happy with something for so long, it's like watching a good movie, right? And then you eventually get bored, like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? It was smooth with me, play a video game or something. I'm cool when I first bought it, but then it just started getting boring the more I done got it. It don't be exciting before as when you before you bought it, and then you buy it, and then it's like it kind of dies down as you buy. Oh, that's cool, sweet, sweet, sweet. It like the hype go down. You know what I'm saying?
I think I wouldn't say that there's true boredom because I feel you on that one. I can agree with that one. But if we take the
Mm,
anger emotions like love, hate, and regret, remorse, things like loneliness, I think you can have true loneliness. I think you can have true regret, true remorse. I think you can have true love, true happiness, and true hate. I think if we like with those bigger emotions, I think that exists. But with those emotions that are like in between, like boredom and lust, I don't. If that makes any sense.
mm. So so. So you said true. Okay, I'm gonna get back on the one you said true. We can have true. Did you say true love?
Absolutely, I definitely
Okay, cool,
believe
cool,
in
cool,
true
cool, cool,
love.
cool, 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 cool. So, all right. I'm trying to get somewhere with this though. So you said what's the so I'm trying to think with that word true. It gets to me some way for some odd reason, because I feel like that should be like infinity type stuff. You know, when it say true, it seems like that nothing else should be able to contaminate that or something like that. So when I hear the word true, I feel like no other feeling could come behind it if it's really true. You know what I'm saying? So that means like if I'm truly whatever, we're gonna go back to happy. If I'm truly happy, that means I can never get bored. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it as. Because if it can get if you have a chance, or if it's temporary, right? But I get what you how you saying, because you feel like if the longer it is, that's what make it true, right? Or the shorter it is it's kind of less true. I guess that's what I guess that's what you're saying, right? So I guess everybody do that. That's I guess that come back to the second part where what's true happiness and if you believe in it, all right. So that's your form of how you look at it. So I can understand how you look at it though in that way though. But yeah, yes. So you kind of answer both of those together then. So Kari, hold up, let me get you. Let me get you. I gotta get you too.
What is the deal? It is Corey Corners in the building. How you feeling? How you feeling?
Much life, much life. Thank you, thank you. Um, I, I, I'll just say it like this: I deal with a lot of men with mental issues, mental health issues, and things they're working through and struggles. And what I've learned through the whole process, and could be my
Yes.
age,
Ah.
is oh, oh, um, is that happiness is only a degree of sadness that we choose to look at. So
Mm,
Hmm.
you you run around chasing happiness, but the more you chase happiness, you will be chasing sadness because they are the same exact thing. They're just in
mm,
degrees of vision of what you choose to look at. So
mm,
when you when you start replacing that word that drug, because happiness is just a chemical reaction of dopamine inside your system.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
But once you start owning it and you say, look, why am I happy when I could be thankful and grateful? Like, how about
Joy.
I'm just thankful? Well, even joy comes if you have joy. It's just a degree of unrest.
Mhm.
But if you're
That's
thankful,
so
it
true.
doesn't matter. Thankful and grateful. It's the best drug. It's like the best drug
I
going that
get you.
cures all the bull crap. But as long as we have a tendency of telling each other and telling life, and even in some of the religious circles, like, I there's nothing that calls for happiness. It calls for love and life. So we tend to want to seek this self pleasure, and that
Mm.
self pleasure is most of the reason we go through depression, divorce, we lose our kids, we
Hmm.
because we're just so caught in the self pleasure, like, of happiness, not knowing that happiness is the biggest drug that is peddled on the streets today. They even peddle it to
Mm.
children.
Yep.
Mm.
Yes, they
Sorry,
do.
I love your point of view. Oh, go ahead, Leona.
No, he said it right. He said exactly what he just said. And
Exactly.
they doing it on kids too. He
Yep.
exactly right.
He did. And one thing that you pointed out, Corey, is when you focus on happiness, you're robbing, or you focus on what happiness looks like. Even just when you focus on the future or you're worried about the future, you're robbing yourself of today. You're robbing yourself of
Mm.
the gratitude, of the grace, of the mercy that you can actually have in this moment right now.
Yeah. And but if you really, when you take it all in, the full concept of it, right? Because polarity exists. It doesn't matter who you are. It's hot, cold,
Hmm.
glad, sad. It's polarity. But when you see that happy and sadness are the same exact thing, it's just a degree. Give a millionaire $1 million. That doesn't really make him happy. It's just like, okay. Give a broke person $1 million, all of a sudden they happy.
That's
Tell the
exactly
broke
what I
person,
was
yeah, tell
saying,
the broke
Corey.
person your rent just went up to $999,000.99. You sad now.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. Happiness isn't given to you. It's created within you. It's something you create. So if somebody gives you look at all the celebrities that are unhappy and they're millionaires. They're unhappy.
You know why? Because this is the best way I can describe it to people. I live in Florida, from Florida, so we have Disney World, right? The happiest place on earth is what they used to call it. The happiest
They
place
still
on
do.
earth, right? Well, let me tell you what happens at Disney World after 11. It shuts down.
Yes. Good point.
They kick people out. Get out of my happiness, because you got to come back. You got to go earn some money to pay for this happiness, because happiness must be replenished. So get out. I need people to understand. Look at happiness for what it is. It is a joke. It is a drug that we peddle to our children. Stop peddling this drug. You have to pay for happiness. Hell, even Superman had to pay for happiness.
That's so true. I think that's what Stays was trying to say too. Is like there are forms of happiness that can just be temporary. It depends on what you're looking at that actually makes you happy. I always say there is substance beyond the surface. A lot of times on the surface, people think happiness is I got the best clothes, I got the best car, I got the best house, I got this, I got that. And that's the surface. That's what they mask themselves at. But internally, how do you make yourself happy emotionally to where you're not unhappy? I mean, what is unhappiness? You
Well,
have to define both.
that's
You have to define
well,
both in order to know what one or the other is, or experience
well,
both.
you have to experience. There you go. You said it right there. You cannot be happy without being sad, because you'll never know what happy is.
Exactly.
It's just how it works. It's kind of like it's almost like how we live as humans, right? We'll walk around. You might have on the red bottoms, Gucci shirt, the gold necklace and diamonds, and I'm with the Walmart pants, some regular shoes and t-shirt, but that's happiness. One of us is happy, one of us is sad, possibly, but we're not thankful and grateful that we're both breathing the same oxygen, where we're able to have the bodies and be here to look at one another. We look at the real finite things that, like, what makes us equal, because happiness does not make us equal. If you're happy, that means somebody has to be sad in order to make you happy.
Yep.
Believe that.
It's like the yin yang. You know, you can't experience one thing if you've never experienced the other. You have to know the indifference.
Yeah, you want a steak dinner? Somebody's got to cook it back there, right? Or cut the cow booty off. Somebody's going
Mm.
down. So the cow mad, the farmer mad, but you sitting there with your steak like, I earned this. You didn't earn nothing.
Oh my.
But you happy until you finish eating. And then when you finish eating, they bring you the bill and you like, man, this messed up. I can't believe how happy I was before this bill came. Not thinking about the farmer, the cow, everything. No. Mm-mm.
What would be a better word than happy? Like, what's beyond happy? Like, we talked about peace, peace,
It that means you have to have war.
contentment. Yeah, stays on top. Yeah, contentment.
There
Think
you
Oh,
so.
go.
Mm.
mm-hmm.
Contentment, thankfulness, and
Satisfied.
gratefulness.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, smart. Put the
Contentment,
okay. They got all the
thankfulness.
words down there.
Yeah, those three right there keep you going. Contentment, thankfulness, and gratefulness. Because if you're thankful, that means you're always receiving. Isn't that
yeah,
a weird kind of thing? But when you're
mm-hmm.
happy, you're not always receiving. You're receiving sometime.
Yeah. Because when you're thankful for basically something that has already happened, or having faith in something that will happen. When you're thankful,
Or what's given is always good.
yeah,
Happiness is not always good. That's why it's a degree
it's
of
not.
sadness.
It's not
So the
always good.
problem is get rid of happiness because it's a lie. It's like telling somebody crack is good for you. Smoke the crack. Smoke it.
Mm-hmm.
This crack will make you feel so good after you smoke it. But you're gonna lose your job, you lose your house, probably your marriage, your kid. But man, look, just smoke the crack. Smoke this happy crack. You're gonna run out of it and gonna need some more happy crack. And it costs more. The more happy you are, it costs more to make you happier. You gotta it just
Yeah.
more and more. The price of happiness goes up every time you use it. But the
Basically,
price of thankfulness doesn't.
what you just proved, Corey, is that people will lose themselves trying to find happiness.
Yeah. It's a drug. It's no different than heroin.
I think I don't think that someone always has to give something to be happy, or like you have to take something to be happy.
No, you don't have to do anything to be happy. You don't have to be happy. I mean,
Mm.
look around right now. If you can think about just the simplicity, we are on a phone, on the internet, able to talk to people all around the world at will. That's amazing.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
not happy about it. I'm thankful that I'm able to talk to people and maybe help people. I'm grateful that like I have people like you guys that aren't slamming me and dissing me and talking crap.
Oh yeah, I
I,
forgot that part. My
I
bad. Say that.
like yeah, like let's look at the simple things, but we want to be like, I'm so happy I got a chance to be on live. Who cares? Who cares? Did you do anything while you on live? Did you make a difference?
Exactly. Exactly. Right. Exactly.
welcome to welcome to the
I'd be happy to
live.
see other people happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But that's why I said, like, if we want to talk about, because it got to start with yourself first, anyways. You know what I'm saying? You can't look for happiness through a job. You can't look through happiness through another person. You can't look for happiness through any of that stuff because all that stuff is temporary. And the whole point of me putting this that true happiness, if you waiting on it, the key word is if you waiting on it. That's you. I got bad news for you. You will never find it. That's why I put it in that way. I know it sounds kind of harsh, but that's why we gotta read the full thing. You know what I'm saying? If you waiting on it, it'll never come to you because you gotta find this stuff within yourself, right? You can't just sit there and like, man, I can't wait till I get on that Jamaican trip and all this stuff. Oh, that's when I'm truly gonna be happy or something like that. No, no, there's not. You know what I'm saying? Because that means if you waiting all this time, right? That means you gonna be sad all the until that time come, or that happiness ain't gonna never match that until you get to that trip, and then all of a sudden you gonna love it. Ooh, cool, that was smooth. And then from that point, what you gonna go back and I was about to say the word and unalive down, like you gonna fade. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna fade back down, and then what else? You know what I'm saying? That was the most happiness you can be. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, what the heck is really truly happiness? To me, I just don't. I'm like, what the heck is that? Because everything, like I said, everything in
Alive.
life is temporary, right? Every moment
Hmm.
is temporary. Every like you can't be mad forever. I mean, some people try to be, you know what I'm saying? But all that stuff, it's like all feelings mixed. Like we are made with multiple emotions and multiple feelings, right? So it's like you can't be one of the thing all life. It just don't work like that. You know what I'm
So
saying?
I will say this, and it's going to make me very happy to say this.
Hmm.
June is Men's Health Month. To all the gentlemen here, we appreciate you, and we appreciate you being in a good health status. So whether it's your financial, physical, emotional, mental, psychological, whatever health you want to check in on this month, we encourage you to do so, and you can reach out if you need anything.
Hmm.
Can I back
Okay.
into that? Can I back in that, please? I want people to understand there's a lot of men out here that that are really going through a lot of pressure, and I'm not even talking about older men. I'm talking about kids, man, from 5 and 6 on up. And what and I love what you said, but we kind of need to go the extra step. Instead of being compassionate, we need to be comforters. But go that extra step and just reach out to your brother, your father, and just like, hey man, how you doing? What's up? Hey, what how was your day today?
Hmm.
Oh, so
Because
this is
see, nobody really. I mean, this happens, but it doesn't happen as frequently to men, and we don't do it to one another. So we need your help. We need a lot of ladies' help. We need your help on this one to just ask us how we do, but don't say anything after that. Don't give us any suggestions. Don't tell us how to do life better. Don't tell us that it'll get better. Only thing you do is just listen. Don't suggest nothing. It may burn a hole in your body where you like, ooh, I gotta say something. Just cover your mouth with your hand like I do, and I put my tongue on the top of my mouth. That way, if I say something, it'll sound stupid. I just do whatever it takes and let that man be vulnerable because sometimes just a couple of seconds of vulnerability can save a man's life.
Mm.
Because these guys are taking their lives
Yep.
4 times more than women. These are
Mm.
men 4 times more than women. That's not even a good business deal. You don't do 60-40 in business, so somebody's going to lose.
Mm.
Just think about it.
I agree. I agree with that when it comes to mental health. I can absolutely
Hmm.
agree with that 100%. However, when it comes to physical health, I don't think you follow me. You might not know me very well, but I'm pretty active in my family. I'm a huge daddy's girl. And last week I made an appointment for my grandfather, Pop Pop, my daddy, and my husband. So like I check on the men in my family all the time. I'm really big in that whole aspect. But I do agree what you said. I think is really big for mental and psychological health and emotional health of men.
Hmm.
And I think I just asked you because you might be a part of the unicorns, but please spread the word. Tell other women to do the same thing because eh, I'm telling you, just do the math. 4 times more than women. Do the math. We running out of young men, athletes, the prime examples, the college students, the ones that are the ones the top of the line. They're taking it out, and a lot of times they don't have anybody just to drop weight on, to just listen to them, because everybody wants to give advice. Just listen to people, man. It's just a gift. I'm just begging y'all to do this for me because this is what I see every day, and I, I'm afraid that our future men will be their minds will be so weak they'll be infiltrated by anything that brings attention, and that's not good leadership.
Mm.
I hope you know, Kari, there's a lot of women out here that are trying to, like, I know Stays and I know myself and some of the other content creators as women, we're hitting women up and saying, look, you got to be better for yourself because you're not good to your man. You're not good to your man. You're projecting all your hurt. You didn't fix yourself, and now you're trying to help this man fix you. And in the process, we're raising children that are not growing up with a good understanding of what it's like to have a healthy relationship, a healthy lifestyle, healthy understanding of what's really going on in society. They're fed off of technology, fed off of celebrities, fed off of everything that's coming into construct. So there are women out here fighting for you. I hope you know that.
No, and there are, and I'm grateful. I'm thankful for all of you ladies that do it, because it's not me. It's for all of us. It's literally a humanity thing, and these children, man. When you really look at some of the things that we're teaching in the home, we're teaching how to be angry and bitter and petty, instead of how to be moralistic and knowledgeable and upright and having character, because we're so angry. I mean, and you're definitely right. We all have to look within ourselves. You got to fix what's broken in you, and then you put on your oxygen mask before helping other people. You know, it really does work. Um,
The
and so I
challenge
appreciate
is
all of you ladies. Trust me. I,
the
this is just one of those. This is the men's month. You know, I'm that men's guy. That's what I do. And but I'm an
That's
advocate on
crazy. I
both
did not know
sides.
it was a man's month.
It is. It's Father's
Cause
Day.
it
I was
It's
hearing
is.
all this
It's
time. I was like, why do
Father's
women got
Day.
and it could
everything?
It's
be
also
it could be
Juneteenth. It's men's mental health awareness. There's
it's
a
Yeah.
lot of powerfulness coming
it's a
this month.
little, and then there's a little like, because I was Googling it. They say that like men's health is in June and then men's mental health is November. So I don't know. Like
Mm,
it depends on what source you check.
I didn't know that.
And then there's also Father's
It should
Day.
be daily,
There's a
Stays. It should be
beautiful,
daily.
it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful month to be a man. And listen, listen, listen. Now I will say this. My little brother, who's 18, he is the most non-communicating person I've ever met in my life. The only thing he says to me is, bruh, I love you, little brother. Bruh. Little brother, how's school going? Bruh.
That sounds like J Love.
Graduate, like, little brother, how's your girlfriend? Bruh, come on, bruh. Nah, bruh. Like, okay. So, but then my husband goes spend time with my little brother, and my husband comes back and he's like, yeah, so this is what's going on. Like, how come I only get bruh? How come I only get bruh? And he only tells me he loves me when I make him brownies. This is insane. I'm struggling.
You need help with that? You want to answer?
No, I just send my husband. I'm done. I just, I'll just keep taking the bras. I'll just keep taking the bras,
But but
bra.
but he's actually communicating with you. You just don't speak, bruh.
I
When
speak
you
bra because I do notice the different types of I get. Like when I tell him that I love him, it's like bra. Like I get a smile when I ask him how's school going. He's like bra. Like he don't want to talk about it. Like yeah, I know. I'm getting the clues in the variance in his tone of his voice. I'm very attentive to everyone in my life.
well, then don't be confusing us. We over here thinking you don't speak, bruh. You said you're trying to figure it out. You already know what the thing is. Your brother love you. We just speak different languages. Men speak different. Like your husband can talk to him one way. It's weird. You ever notice the longest male relationship that a man has is with his buddy, a friend of his? They'll be
Mm.
they in relationship. I've known this man for 75 years since I was a kid. We've been through everything together and never had sex with each other, never cheated on each other, even put fist to fist sometimes. But for 75 years, so why aren't we looking at the relationships that work? Like how
Exactly.
how does a man on man relationship with no sex involved last for 75 years, but I can't get a woman and man to last for 75 minutes?
That's a fact.
It is a
Good
fact.
evening,
It's a lack of,
everybody.
it's a lack of commitment.
Good
There's no
evening. Did I hold up? Do I gotta get you real quick? How many people I miss? I got a bunch of names I gotta get real
invite
quick. Hold up,
Kenshi.
let me see.
I'm gonna drop. I gotta drop down in a few minutes if you got more people coming.
Alright, Lovely is dropping at the moment, so I gotta start up with Lovely. Thank you for coming through, man. I appreciate you. Now we have Kinch in the box, and then she is in the building. How you feeling? I got a
Hola,
couple
I'm
more names.
feeling
Give me a second
good.
real quick. I'm sorry. Couple more names. Oh, we got Lady Play. I meant to mention her early. How you feeling? One of my moms. She be all the time. Good looks. What's the deal? Did I get everybody?
Why,
I
thank
think
you.
I got everybody. No problem. No
And
problem.
you're like weird Darth Vader, like, I don't know.
Oh, one more person. One more person. I forgot.
Our boy Stewie Yoda, tallest broomstick you ever seen in your life. What's the deal?
You froze.
He getting a call.
Did it lag?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
froze a
for a
little bit.
minute.
Let me redo it again.
Froze.
Nope. I'm doing it again. It froze too.
Now
All
we
right.
heard you.
No, we heard.
What did I say? What did it say? What did I say about?
You welcomed everybody in. The last person you
I
welcomed
got
was the
studio.
studio.
You heard studio?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Studio was the last person.
Okay, I'm making sure you heard it. Okay. I wanted to say that part
Studio
again.
said, don't do it again. Don't do it again. I'm glad he froze.
Oh, God.
Studio, wow. All right. Good evening, ladies and
Good
gents.
evening, man.
So, what are we talking about, sir?
So the topic. For me getting it, one more. I'm sorry.
Limo B.
Nigga is in the building. How you feeling? They getting tired of me doing
Oh,
it already. Let's go.
All right. So the topic is: if you are still waiting on this thing called true happiness, I got bad news for you. You will never find it. So how you feel about the topic?
What is true happiness to you, if you believe? Well, I think there's an ebb and flow, right? I don't think that there's like true happiness forever. That's like fairy tale. Like
This
there's always
thing
going to be
tripping.
something. There's always going to be something in to ruin the happiness. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about like relationships. I'm talking about, death of family members. As you get older, things are just going to hit you, right? You can be a generally, I guess, happy person, but it depends. I think a lot of people get triggered from childhood issues when they have to deal with them as an adult, when they didn't realize that it was still kind of hanging out there, but it just came out of nowhere, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, am I a happy person? I mean, for the most part, sure. I mean, I do what I got to do every day. I take care of my daughter. I work. I clean my house. I cook. I eat. I mean, it could be worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be worse. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I believe in like true happiness, because again, there's always going to be something that comes in and kicks your ass as an adult. And you're
Exact.
not going to be prepared for it, except to say that you can deal with it on whatever level of whatever stability you have.
Ooh, King sound like a perfect candidate. Come on up, my buddy.
But I'm just
Did I
saying,
get King?
like,
But I feel you on that for sure, man. That's why, hey, we getting somewhere, man. We getting somewhere.
yeah, because listen, I I have been married, divorced, like childbirth in between. Was I happy the entire time? It is what it is. I don't even remember at this point because I've been divorced for like 5 years. I can say this. I did not base my happiness on my husband. I can say that my happiness was just who I was, who I am. Like I'm a happy person. I'm not feeling well. I'm not a happy person. It's not his fault. It's not my fault. It's what it is. It's just what the mood is for that day, for real. When you talk about happiness, if you talk about real happiness. So I believe within relationships, if we're talking about relationships specifically, that true happiness is never going to come from your spouse. If you lean on that person to make you a happy person, and the moment that they're not making you happy, that's when the problems come in. That's when the problems wade in like a tide.
Yes,
Because you
ma'am.
were dependent on that person, because you weren't a happy person and you were happy with them. They made you feel a certain type of way. And the moment they don't make you feel that way anymore, you got problems. You got big
Right,
problems.
Kenji? Because a lot of times you're requiring somebody to make you happy when they aren't even happy themselves. So what are they spreading to you?
Facts. You're depending upon the human condition, which is a
Right.
fail at every level. The human condition, like we okay, so let's talk about children, right? Children understand the human condition the moment that they realize that their parents are human. That the moment that they realize that their parents are not perfect, that their parents actually lie, that their parents actually do like the wrong thing, even though their parents are continuously telling them, "Don't do what I do what I say." That's when you truly
Mhm.
learn the human condition about whether or not somebody is like truly a happy person. And that actually imprints on you, unfortunately, if you're young enough, and it sticks with you. So it's up to us as we get older, as even adolescents. It's unfortunate that we have to be that way, but it is what it is. This is a society that we live in. You really have to find your own happy place, and whatever that is, and hope that your parents will indulge that and let you be yourself. Even at like 8, 9 years old, probably as young as 5, for real. Once you start seeing your kids like traits of who they're gonna be as a person, like the things that you haven't taught them, they start doing other things, and you're like, what the? Hold up, cuz don't be talking to me like that. Those are things. That's that human condition that starts to kick in, and so in the generation that I was raised up in, we didn't acknowledge that. My parents didn't acknowledge that. They didn't acknowledge that kids, have their own personality. It was just like, okay, wait, stop. No. Who you talking to? Take several seats, little kid. You ain't nobody. You gonna do what I say. And
If that
it's
kid wasn't happy after that.
absolutely, absolutely. And so when I'm parenting my daughter right now, I recognize that she has her own personality and that she's a human, and that I know that one day she's going to be an adult, and I don't want to be the person that fucked her up. That's what I know. So, yeah.
Okay. I throw something in there, a little remix it up a little bit, make y'all all happy, a little happy right there.
Hey, King.
What's happening? What's up?
Hello, fam.
What's the
It,
deal, Came? Did I get you earlier or didn't?
I don't know, but we gonna try it anyway. How you feeling?
Hey, King, he's doing your commercial breaks like you do.
got you, Kev. I got you, Kev. I
Oh, no.
appreciate that. I don't duck now.
Good looks, man. I can't wait. I'm gonna
What
store enough coins to get you too. What?
hey,
Yeah.
what if you just look, because when we keep saying happy, it's just misdefined. It's like when people say love, you don't even know what they're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at happiness, is really an expectation that you're expecting to be met. And when that's met, then you are happy, right? But
Right.
what it is when you're telling people like, oh yeah, you can be happy, you just can be happy. That's kind of like saying, yeah, all your expectations can be met. Every single one of your expectations for the rest of your life can be met. You're lying to people. Now, if you
Right.
you just tell the truth and be like, hey, look, you can have a feeling of happiness. It's dopamine. It's a chemical within your body. But look, if you go here, you go to school, it might not feel good, but when you graduate, you'll think you're going to be happy, but you're going to be so thankful and grateful that you made it through. And just get rid of, I'm telling you, if you get rid of the word happy from your life and start using the real words, like even think about your children. Are you happy for them? Are you happy that you have children? Are you thankful and grateful that you
Oh.
have your children? Like
Mm-hmm.
what carries more weight? Happiness carries no weight. It is fake, and it always has to be replenished. Are you happy for that you are married to a good man or woman, or are you thankful and grateful that you have this person that's in your life? What
Right.
carries
Right.
more weight? So as long as people want to be happy, you got to understand you will always have to be sad in order to value your happiness.
Hmm. Well, like what you said about expectations, beyond an expectation, like what Kev was talking about earlier, is a need. There is a need beyond that expectation. I expect for you to do this because I'm needing something from you. But we have to ask that to ourselves first so that we know what is expected of us when somebody presents that to us. You know, you're not only just learning yourself and learning the ideas of what the expectations you have to meet for yourself so you meet your own needs, so that when somebody presents that to you, you could say, okay, this is what it is. It's the level of discernment.
Well, a lot of times we as people don't know what we want. We think we know what we want,
True. True.
and we try to tell people our expectation, like, well, this is what I expect. But if you have an expectation, your is to help me meet your expectation. Because if you can't meet your expectation, how the hell can I meet it? So show me how to meet what you expect, and then life changes because all of a sudden you'll stop expecting things that can't happen.
Exactly. Well, because a lot of times people will put expectations upon yourself, and I say this all the time, that they'll put expectations upon other people that they can't even meet themselves. So now you're asking someone to do something for you that you don't even know what it's like to do for yourself.
You don't even know how to do for it. There's no way possible. So how can you lay some heavyweight life change of yours onto somebody else? That is so unfair. However,
Hmm.
if I expect you, like let's keep it simple and stupid, right? You expect me to put the toilet seat down, right? Now, what if I never did that? I never ever did, never had to. We didn't even have toilet seat. We just never worried about it. Now you expect me to put the toilet seat down. Are you just gonna be mad at me because I'm not putting it down? That makes no sense. We break up relationships over stupid stuff like this instead of being like, hold on,
But wait,
hey baby,
women
look.
don't get mad
I
about women
well,
don't get
hold
mad about
on.
the toilet seat not being down.
It's just a story to keep
No.
everything
I'm just
simple.
they get mad about falling in. I'm just letting you
No,
know.
well, see, but the toilet seat's not down. The toilet doesn't matter where you go. The toilet seat's not down. That's why you falling in. So the goal is to get the toilet seat down, but not argue about you being falling in. You see what I'm saying? But we'll argue about the falling in for 3 or 4 weeks instead of how can we work together to keep the toilet seat down.
Exactly. That is such a good point. Like how you, and that's the thing. It's like you got to keep it simple. You got to keep it simple. You know, because we can take petty stuff like a toilet seat, and it could, like you said, it can cause divorces. It can cause. It could be the underlying factor that somebody says like, I didn't want to be with him because he didn't leave the toilet seat down. Or like you pick and choose like little things like pet peeves of somebody else who went through a different experience than you. Women need to understand we don't know what it's like to lift the toilet seat up and put a toilet seat down. So men's habits are different than women's habits. So it's like if your expectation is to put the toilet seat down, we got to communicate about that. It's like, hey, can you remember that? You know, can you remember that? Just the same way with men and men against women when women do stupid stuff too. If you can't talk about something, that means that you don't even know how to communicate with yourself. Your inner dialogue with yourself is powerful if you're going to, you know, put all these expectations upon other people to make yourself happy. You're never going to be satisfied. And I know somebody put that in the comments. You're going to you're going to be in a constant state of mind of seeking things to make you happy, to make you seek the next level, and you're just never going to be you're never going to get there if you are not willing to be in the present. And like what Kari said, and I love what you said, is that gratitude, that thankfulness for where you already are.
It's an interesting topic.
And and the sad part is I had a couple come in. They were breaking up over this right here, toilet seat. I'm not lying. And I was like,
Surprised.
it's like, is he a good man? She's like, yeah, he's a great man, but I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it. It's been for years. I was like, but he takes care of everything. She's like, yeah, he's a good man. It's like, so you willing to give up a good man instead of just training a good
What I miss?
man?
Well, but that's
My
my
bad,
thing
y'all. I had
though
to
too.
reset
Well,
my
but
internet. This junk was irritating me.
that's
I'm like,
absolutely
bro.
ridiculous. It's I think it's more of the oh, he doesn't care enough to put the toilet seat down, right? It's this tantrum that we throw. But at the end of the day, you can learn to actually go into the bathroom and check to make sure it's down. You do it
I was just gonna say
before
that,
your ass
Kenji.
falls
Exactly.
in.
I was
You
just
can do
gonna say
that.
that, Kenji.
Right. And it's not like
Exactly.
it's so what I know is having had two brothers and a husband and a father is that they don't leave it up all the time. They just don't pay attention sometimes and they walk off and they leave it. It's not like they're doing it on purpose.
Mm-mm.
So but it's an irritant to women because it's like he knows that I already talked to him about this
Have
and he
have
doesn't care.
y'all you ever
So
heard about a
listen,
man complaining about a toilet seat being down?
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that. I had a man tell me one time, he's like, well, why can't you put it up for me when you're done? You
That's the
know,
Girl,
conundrum,
that's
right?
fucking retarded.
It's about what pleases you, so you're upset that they didn't please you. The man
Yeah,
needs it up
it has
more than
nothing
exactly.
to
down,
It's
do
a
and the
with
need.
the
woman needs it
actual
down more
toilet
than
seat.
up.
It has nothing to do with the actual toilet seat. And what I've trained myself to do as a woman who doesn't want drama for no reason is
Oh,
with that
there you
toilet
go.
seat, I'm going to walk into that bathroom and check and make sure it's damn down. And if it's not, even at 4 o'clock in the morning when I can't even see and I'm tired and I
So
just got to go to the
So
bathroom,
look, hey,
I'm going
look,
to
let me
put it
give
yeah,
y'all
down
women.
myself.
Let me
because
give the women a helpful hint so you understand these dynamics. When a man focus goes below his waistband, his rationale leaves in every
right.
situation. So if he got to go to the bathroom, he's not thinking about the logic of the toilet seat. When he's done, he's thinking about relief. The same thing happens in the bed. Y'all women know that already. So I think you're gonna have to adjust your expectations for the average guy.
Hmm.
No problem checking to make sure that the damn toilet seat is
So
down.
I
That
I
Yeah,
got a
I'm
because you
not
question
know
going to
then.
get
why, Kenji?
divorced. I'm
Because you
not
know
going to
what,
get
Kenji?
divorced over it.
don't want to fall in. I don't want to fall in. So I have to check, is
So
the
I'm a
choice I make.
Because women are
look at
So
Kev.
rational
let
below the
Look at
waist.
Kev's face. What are you saying, Kev? You don't
I'm
agree?
trying to get now. Y'all making me think about that. Like, what is like? They act like women is not all the way there in the head or something like that. Like, why do we have to do that? It made me think of that though.
exactly.
Like, why do we got to pull
It's
a
not
seat down
right.
because they
Because
don't know how to pull a seat down?
Let me tell you
Yeah.
what.
And
Let me tell you
I
why.
have
Because
that.
men stop opening doors for women, so that is the new opening door for the woman once you get married or in a relationship with
Nah,
her.
bruh. Nah, I don't agree with that.
What?
What I know.
This
Listen,
is
Open the
weird,
door for
man.
her. Open her
okay.
So she
door.
like, oh
All
my
the
goodness,
doors.
my booty
Car
fell in
doors,
the
toilet
toilet. Like,
seats,
what the
restaurant
heck?
door. Open all of them.
Listen. So no, it's very discomforting to go into the bathroom like the lights off or something and you're not paying attention and you fall in and
Who fault is that?
your whole
that's the
coochie
part
hits
though,
toilet
Kenshi.
water.
Where's
Now
the
you gotta
lack of accountability at? Like,
now
what
you
the
gotta
It's
frick?
take a
It's
uncomfortable
shower.
having.
Oh,
your
you
Hey,
fault.
feel
it's
nasty.
uncomfortable having to aim in a smaller circle than a bigger circle. Okay,
Oh, I
I
know
don't
that.
like that. I want as big
That's
area
why
as I
piss
can when
ends
my
up
eyes
all
are
over the
half closed
sink.
in the middle of the night.
That's why
What
piss
you
ends
got?
up all over
I
the
see Corey
bowl,
got
and women
some.
get divorced for that as well. They do. If piss ends up
What
on
you
the
got,
bowl,
Mister?
they get mad as shit about that as well.
We just
Hey,
Absolutely.
piss
look.
in
It's
the
like
we'll piss in the tub.
why
We
you
just
can't
start
take it?
pissing in the tub. Just make it easy on everybody.
That's the biggest hole you can do right there.
My ex
That
husband
will
used to
piss
do
a
And
that
don't
shit.
say
woman
nothing
off in
about
a
that either.
heartbeat.
Because they do it
That's
in the
just yellow
shower. You know
soap.
that, right?
Yellow
Oh,
soap. Don't
absolutely.
worry about it.
Absolutely. My ex husband, he admitted that shit. He was like, "Yeah, sometimes I just handle it." I'm like, "Oh Jesus." As long as I don't smell pee in the bath, I'm
Hey,
good.
Don't worry
Thank
about
you.
it.
the city counts it all as wastewater. Whether it went down the
True.
sink, the tub, or the toilet is all the same when it gets.
But all I'm saying is it's
Yep.
asinine to end up in the divorce court over an open fucking toilet. Like, just adjust. Figure it out. Because it could be worse.
My toilet seat is always up.
What you got
Well,
for us, Corey? I see you had some. Them fingers, but they.
Was that Leona?
My toilet seat's always up.
I I will say
I
to
lived with
answer
boys
to
and men
answer.
my whole life. I had to learn. I had to learn. I learned.
I
I had
grew
to
up
learn
with
to
two
check
brothers,
first.
man. Please. I fell in a
That's
few times before I had to learn. Listen.
We need to get an automatic toilet seat, the one that goes up and down just by the presence of the person.
Oh, they do
Yeah, I
have
don't care. I
those.
don't
They're
care if the
pretty
toilet seat is up
expensive.
and down. For me, I don't care because I use
me
it up or if
either.
it's down. I don't care.
No, you check it first. Whatever it is.
Right. Well, all
Wait,
right.
so are
One
you saying
second, y'all, man.
you sit on the
Corey trying to
rim
go
or
real
you
quick.
put it down?
Y'all doing
Do
ping
I sit
pong
on the
right now.
rim? Do I sit on the rim?
Yeah.
No, no, no.
Yeah. What the?
I do a self catheter and stuff, so I can do everything standing up. I do
Oh.
everything standing up. I don't have to
Yeah, I
sit on
don't
the
like to
toilet at
squat in
all.
my own house. I do squat when I go to public places, but not in my home.
No,
Like I
well,
gotta put it down.
no, I do everything standing up.
Oh damn. Okay. Wow.
I think it's your time now, Corey. Jump in before they say something.
Yeah,
Uh,
come on,
uh,
Corey, 'cause we
it,
getting anatomy pictures in our head, Corey. Say something.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
that
that's
went
wild.
way to another way. But let me answer the question, right? One of the biggest reasons why things like the toilet seat doesn't happen or the open the door is because those were a different set of morals that
Hmm.
were put on men a long time ago. And that wasn't just for certain men, it was for every man. Every man opened the door for a woman. Like, oh, I'm not a man. No, it wasn't none of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then even with me, I was brought up around women. So if you left one drip of, if you had a dream drip on the toilet seat, everybody in the house gonna kill the man, which was me. So I learned to just swipe and wipe, flush and swipe, flush and swipe. I just because it was all, even at a public restroom, I'm sitting there like, dang, I should wipe this off too, because I had that fear of the morality that was put inside of us that was different. Now I will tell you this, and this actually happened to me. I lived in Seattle, and the sun doesn't go down to 10 o'clock at night. Well, you can play 18 holes of golf, drinking and everything. So I did, and I came home with my My wife is in there sleeping. I'm happy because I don't have to hear nothing. I'm creeping around the house, take my shower, I'm chilling, and then I had to pee so bad. I go in there, I'm peeing, but you know when you know it's kind of dark, you like, ooh, ooh, you concentrate so hard. Y'all don't know the concentration because we don't want to fall. We don't want to fall. Ooh. And then I did the swiping white, flush and dush. I'm good. So I get in bed, and you know after a long day, hot, playing, drinking, man, I was sleeping good. And all of a sudden, I heard a horror from hell screaming. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, I'm an ex-soldier and fighter. You know, I've already went into war mode. I'm like, who are they attacking? Or what's going on? I go into the bathroom and she yelling, "It's a effing hole! It's a effing hole!" And kept yelling, right? And I looked at her, and and that day, it was a beautiful day, even though this happened, because somewhere God changed me at that moment in time to where I looked at her just going crazy over this one drip that I couldn't even see because my eyes couldn't focus. I'm like, I just want to wipe stuff up. Just stop yelling. Just stop. Right? Sure. And I'm looking, and but I looked at her face and she all pissed off, and it just hit me. I was like, huh, what I say next is gonna cause her to get more mad or less mad. I mean, it was so crazy. It was like slow motion. And so I looked at it and I said, hey, you know what? Let me tell you something. You see that hole right there? You know we on Earth and the planet spins 16,000 miles an hour. It rotates around the planets at 677,000 miles an hour. Do you know how much skill I have to get into this hole with an arc and a degree? Do you understand what I have to go through? And all you do is sit on the target? I should be complaining about you right now. And she looked at me like, I was like, I'm just saying. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take half of this roll of toilet paper. I'm gonna wipe this because I don't know what the hell you talking about. Here's a little skeet of some Clorox, but I'm going to sleep. I'm not arguing about no piss drops,
Not at
right?
all.
And so when I got into bed, I'm listening to her. She was still in there grumbling. Hole, it's a hole, it's a freaking hole, you know. And she coming back in the bed. She getting in the bed, all snatching up covers. It's cold in Seattle. It's very cold. It's still a hole. I didn't say nothing. And I started realizing everything after that. I started looking like, you know what? Why am I responding to stupidity? And if I do something wrong, why don't I just go ahead and take credit for it? Because she gonna be mad anyway.
Right.
Hey, let me go. Yeah, that's my P. It's not anybody else. That's mine. I did that. Strong arm. That's me. Ha ha. Now watch me wipe it up. I did that too. Now I'm done. We don't have to argue. But if you want to continue those fights because of an expectation not being met because you're not happy,
Mm.
an expectation, that's wrong. And even in this conversation, it started with just being the story was simplified by toilet and peeing and everything. It kind of went a little forward and backwards, but in reality, it's the expectation. You want a joker to not to put the toilet seat down? We don't have to argue about you drowning and all that stuff. Show me what I need to do to put the toilet seat down because I'm a man. I'm pretty simple. Give me a clue. Tell me I'm sexy and fine. Tell me my beer belly look good today. Just do whatever it takes to get this toilet closed so you don't have to have a problem with it. But
What you
know
got to
that
do
you're
is you got to
working
do.
with another human being that doesn't ever have to close that toilet for the rest of their natural life, but could be the person that could take care of you and call 911 when you're dying. And I guarantee you, you won't worry about a toilet closing. You're going to worry about them calling 911 or being by that bed when you're dying or cleaning you up. Trust me, I've been there. That's what you need to start thinking about instead of your happiness. Think about your longevity and thankfulness of a human being in your life when you're about to get out of this life. Trust that.
Right. Mm-hmm. And drop the mic. All right.
Preach,
Yeah.
preach, preach, preach.
Just tie a
And you,
string to the toilet and to the
you
door.
said,
When you close the door, the toilet will close.
there we
What's
go.
your,
So
what's your question,
you
Sierra?
gotta
What's your
improvise. Huh?
question? You about to ask me a question?
Oh no, I thought you seemed like you about to hit up something real quick. Would you say
Oh,
something about the
no, you know me. I listen to the room. I don't just jump in. I have
oh
my opinions and my perceptions, but I like to hear the room clearly. And then wait.
mm-hmm,
What I do in your room is I wait for you to circle back around to the
mm-hmm,
original topic before I say anything. I'm listening because I want to get a beat on everybody before I say anything. I want to know what I can and can't say and who might get offended because I have a different view. So I'm just
mm-hmm,
listening until you're ready to get back to it.
mm-hmm. Okay. But you was just about to say something about the peeing on the toilet. I mean, not the peeing on the toilet, but the lifting the toilet. How you felt about that one?
Oh man, I don't stress about what don't need to be stressed about. I'm on my third
Mm,
marriage and I know better than to argue with. I'm a tiger that's not gonna argue with a donkey. Everybody's entitled to the way they feel about stuff, but I
A
recognize and
donkey.
acknowledge that we wired different.
Hmm.
You caught that, right?
Yes, I did.
I'm not.
And I heard
I'm not going to
lions.
do that. And I'm a lion, right? So I'm not. I don't give attention to it. I don't overwhelm, but I also don't back down. It is what it is, and I require adjustment in relationship, adjustment of the emotions when we're
mm,
doing stuff. I recognize that she's not gonna always do it the way that I like it. That's what makes her individual that I love, and I'm not gonna do it the way you like it. So for you, me to demand her or her to demand me is irrational, and it's immature. So I don't
mm,
get into those petty things, right? Like for example, we could take something as simple as the toilet seat, and we could take hair in the bathtub. I wear
mm,
glasses. When I take my glasses off, I can't see all that shit like you.
Me either.
So I might have missed something. So excuse me if I missed it, and I don't mind reminding you that I'm legally blind. So if I didn't see it, I'm sorry. I got out the bathroom before the water ran out the tub, and there was still something in there. I make those facts and I leave it alone. I'm not going back and forth with you. The only thing I go back and forth with is my iron. So we're not doing that stuff. I
mm-hmm.
mean, I'm not gonna get in no careless argument. If it ain't gonna grow us, then it's gonna destroy us. So I know what
Right.
that's like.
Well,
So
it's
who
like
moral is to
And
make
that's
the
such a
bed up
good
then?
point proven. When
it
you
What's
doesn't.
that?
focus on the petty stuff, you forget
Make
it
the bed.
how you forget about how you
Look,
grow.
in in my world, whoever's the best at it is responsible for it.
All right. Somebody
My
should be
wife
the
makes a
best at
bed
putting
better
that
than me.
toilet
I will
down
roll
too.
out
Then if
that
that's the
bed.
case.
Bro, I will roll out the bed like an armadillo and don't look back because she does it well. I'm prime military and I'm sick of making damn beds with 45-degree angles. So,
Mm,
I get up and I leave it and she's good. She likes to do some fancy stuff. She made the bed so good that I feel like I'm in a straitjacket when I get in there at night. But that's her thing. I'm not going to correct that. You do that. I love to cook. So guess what? We
mm-hmm.
both cook, but I'm going to take the responsibility of cooking as often as possible because I'm the best at it. There's just certain things we're good at and we place those responsibilities and accountability on the person who is the best at it or proclaims to be the best. But we're not gonna argue
Mm,
about your weaknesses. That's something we gotta grow in, or we're gonna leave that alone.
There
okay.
we
Right?
go.
Nobody
I
Yes,
wants
got
to
two
sir.
focus
people
on their
I
strengths.
got two people I gotta announce real quick that hit the building.
Oh,
Welcome to the live. It's the married couple. We got Midnight and Hobo in the building. I got a question for y'all too.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, since we just had the married couple thing going on. So, Midnight, have you ever left the seat open? I mean, do you put the seat down when you for a hobo? Do you put the seat down for her in the toilet?
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. Let's go ahead and let Midnight on up real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Midnight.
Yo, so not only do I leave a seat down, look, here's my thing is that I'm not gonna have nobody cleaning up piss, so I'll just sit down and piss. Like what? Like It's not that important.
Dang.
Not all that important. Listen, I'm gonna sit down and piss. I'm gonna get on TikTok and scroll until
Smart.
I'm finished, and then I'm gonna fucking get up.
Smart thinking. Smart. That's
Hey,
very smart.
can we talk about the elephant in the room though? Men might leave stuff on top of the toilet. If you married to a woman, you better look underneath the toilet seat and see who leaving something.
I was just
Oh.
about
Yeah.
to say
If
that.
Why they
you
don't
don't
clean that
clean
shit
around
up?
those
I
rings.
was
Yep.
just
Clean
about
that
to
shit
say
up.
that.
And then when your monthly visitor
I
come,
done
make
unleashed
sure
some
y'all
stuff
cleaning that
tonight.
up.
See,
We don't want to put that out there,
men
right?
are
They
not
complain
rude
what's on
enough.
top, complain about what's on the bottom too.
Men are not rude enough
Exactly.
to say anything. I noticed that. Because if you lift that toilet seat up and you might get a
I don't,
surprise too if it's her friendly time of the
sister, you
month.
right. I don't say a word. I grab the
They don't
sponge and the
say
Clorox and I
nothing.
just clean. I don't say nothing to
But we get mad as hell. Oh, the toilet seat. Oh, you left some droplings of pee. But y'all don't say nothing. I guarantee because I know. I've heard it.
her. We
Y'all don't
don't.
say nothing.
I don't say nothing. I don't say, babe, you need to come clean this up before I get on the toilet. No, I just wipe it, clean it up, and that's it. Because guess what? Every time we go to the bathroom, we raise the toilet seat, we see the evidence, and we know it ain't us.
He's like, yeah.
Exactly. And then it's gonna turn back to you anyways, even if you confront it. Oh, so you trying to be mad at me? You know
She gonna
what
say,
I'm saying?
she gonna say,
You
well, just
can't
put the
be
toilet seat down then.
you're a man. You're a man. Why you can't put this all over me? Right, exactly. You might need 9 boxes. Who else trying to come up here? We can go ahead and make it a party tonight. I got 9 boxes. Come on. Let's go. Sis,
Oh man.
yeah, let's go ahead and do that then. How you do that, Dick?
Let me send a couple of files. We got some cool people over here tonight.
Wow. Okay,
Oh,
we
there we
got
go.
more room.
Wait, who is that?
Okay, now we
King.
got
That's King talking.
Joker in the building.
You a
Just
fucking
right.
goof.
Thank you, hobo. Thank you. Just look at the seat. Like, what the freak, man? Like, I ain't got
That's
no
what we were
eyeballs and
saying,
hands.
hobo. That's what we were saying. Why can't the woman
Hey,
be like, man, let me check where I'm sitting? Like,
right.
Exactly.
Blame
why
the
is it
man.
dependent on the
It's
man?
definitely not worth divorce. I mean,
Because
come on.
we don't put the seat up
Oh
so
my.
that they can pee next.
Oh
So
my god.
He
why
wants
are
a
we
raw
expecting
dairy
them
and
to
to be
put the
treated
seat
as such.
down?
She want trumpets to play whenever she go to the bathroom. And red
Mm-mm.
carpets be rolled. And we supposed to roll the carpet out, guys. Now I'm
Oh
saying
man.
I'm talking all that, but look. The truth is, I am mindful, and when I can be, I'm not gonna get
Mm-hmm.
it right every time. I'm like a meteorologist. I might get it right, might get it wrong, but life goes on. It's
Exactly.
that simple.
Let me switch this.
It's a
Exactly.
70% chance today I might put the toilet seat down, and tomorrow might be 30% chance. You take bring your umbrella.
And here's my thing. This is what people don't point out is when you ask a man, okay, can you put it down or can you put it up or whatever it is?
Hold
Do
in the
you
building.
actually do you actually acknowledge when he does it? Are you thankful? Are you kind? Do you actually point that out? Why do people always
Nope.
want to point out what you didn't do, but nobody wants to point out what you did do?
There
Hey, I
you
noticed
go.
this. I noticed this. I noticed. Hey,
That
that means that
expectation
they're
and entitlement.
thinking. That means that they're thinking of you.
Hmm.
But you got to acknowledge when they're thinking of you, just if not more than when they're not thinking of you.
That's
That
right.
we can't rely on the negativity.
Hey,
That's the
We just can't.
lovely,
expectation, man. The
lovely.
entitlement.
Let's role
Well,
play. Pretend we're in the same. Ask me if I will put the toilet seat down and watch my answer.
Okay, okay. Hey, King, will you please put the toilet seat down every time you take a piss?
I can't give it to you every time, just sometimes. I don't know when that sometimes might be.
Mm.
That's as honest as I can get.
They be like, what up? You went 2 days in a row.
Hey, I sometimes has no number on it. That might be
Yep.
2 out of 10.
Right, right.
But
I
Right,
can't make a
might
prom.
be.
I can't
Hobo
promise you
is right.
something
They do have
like that.
automatic toilet seats. Like they do have that.
Dog, the sad
But this
part,
is
look, the sad part
this is
about
a good
that is why do you
conversation.
need a automatic when they got a
Right.
whole hand to put the seat down? I don't get it.
Well,
Bro,
that's
I
Look,
bought
what
a
what it's
toilet seat
doing
that
is
goes down
distracting you
slowly.
from
the
being able to
lady
Is the
communicate
toilet
with
seat really
people.
goes
that
down.
heavy that a man got to do it?
No,
Oh,
I
so
ain't. Of
germs.
course she
So the
ain't.
man got to take on the germs.
Hold on.
Kev, I think the
Baby, this is
issue
heavy
here.
lifting, baby. Hey, I need somebody. I need a man. There's 2-man lift right here.
Lift with your
Wow.
legs. Lift with your legs.
Oh,
I've never heard nobody complain about a toilet seat before. I've never.
Hey,
Can
Bro,
I ask a
we
question?
already gotta
what?
deal with them germy kids, so of course y'all gotta handle the other germs.
we got to handle
King,
your pube hairs. And man, that's messed up, bro.
Yeah, we gotta have
Yeah.
splatter and all that. You know,
Booty
there's no backsplash on the toilet.
Uh-uh.
King.
crack particles and stuff. It's like, man, let me stop. But
Not me gonna add on and
What
say
happened?
booty juices in the hairs, but nah, let me stop.
No.
wait, who just left? Somebody left. It looked. Oh, I
Yeah,
gotta hop down. Thanks, man.
go
No,
out of
for sure,
town for a
kid.
week and come back and look on that toilet. Look like they've been mudding up in that damn thing.
Okay, but let me
Oh
ask
my
this,
god.
King. If you're only committing to doing it some of the time, because we understand you may forget it's habit forming, right?
Mhm.
Are you gonna have attitude if you have to be reminded?
If you keep reminding me of something like that, yeah, pretty much.
All right, nagging,
And like,
nagging,
why? Okay, it's like,
nagger.
why? I already told you it's sometimes. So the more, if you keep reminding me, it's not gonna make the sometimes change.
Ooh,
It's like unnecessary dialogue at that point.
man.
Like, can we not talk about something more important?
How
Like,
how about
what we eating
how about
tonight?
When
if you got to keep reminding him, right? When you gonna use your own hand and put it down?
Kev, you are
Right.
missing the point. We'll have to put it down to sit on the toilet. That's beside the point. That's the reason for the conversation.
No,
You
that is the
well,
point.
okay,
But you know what that is?
can I help on this one? I think I can help on this one.
Go ahead, let's get it. I like when he
Uh,
talking that good.
All right. So,
Hey, y'all
but
follow him too, man. He cool, man.
I
He new
did,
part
I
of the
did,
family.
I did. I checked him
We
out.
following Corey's corner already.
what what King's saying is like, look, here's the contract. Here's the standard of me. The standard of me is you got a 30% chance I'm gonna put this toilet seat down. So it, here's the standard, and I just need you to know I love you to death. I will try to bring that joker up to 40, 50, 60%. I'll
There
do
you
the
go.
best I can. However, baby girl, there's no sense in arguing about what I have a very hard time changing with this 30%. Now we
Right,
can work on it together, but if you come at me all the time about some pee on the seat when I already have that problem, instead of helping me with that problem, then all you're gonna do, we're just gonna argue back and forth because I'm gonna think you fighting with me over something that I already told you about.
that's
Okay, but we
facts.
act like pee on the seat is a disability. Like aim correctly.
Look,
It ain't that
look,
difficult.
look.
See
Can
that
we be
that takes
real?
it
This,
back. You
look, this,
just turned it
Well,
back
so
into the
aim correctly is
expectation portion.
this
When you
listen,
turn it
aiming
back in,
correctly
it's
is
like,
very difficult. Sometimes sometimes your stream goes in two different directions. How am I supposed to aim that?
It's not about the pee on the seat. It's about you wiping the toilet when you're done. That's the courtesy of it. You can pee all over the bathroom as long as you clean it up before you walk out.
did you hear what you said? Courtesy. it's,
but and
it's
this
not
is
something
where,
granted all the time.
yeah, and think about it. A man is not the normal man, the regular general man is not trained to like put toilet seats down and wipe seats. We are trained to stand up, drop it, and roll. Half the
Right.
jokers don't even
Think I
wash their
came back
hands.
just for
You
see
worried
it go to
about the
bed.
seat. They hands nasty.
I just got
See,
back
now
too.
we
I'm
done made it
mad.
a general conversation. A general conversation is not being had between a couple. So we can't talk about generally what men do if we're only talking about one man and one woman. You
Well,
see, y'all
Well,
making this
that's the
difficult.
problem. If you're too busy arguing about a toilet seat, there's actually more underlying issues that you are not discussing.
Hey,
Sir,
Ooh,
the
lovely,
don't hurt him
toilet
lovely.
seat
like
that
Hey,
she's
that.
let me
arguing
wait,
about,
wait,
Don't
wait.
hurt him like that,
it's
lovely.
Let
not
me
the
rephrase
toilet
what
seat
Lovely
that
just
she's
said.
arguing about. It's the courtesy.
If let me rephrase what Lovely just said. If you arguing about a toilet seat, there's more shit you ain't dealt with.
Yeah, let's go. I like that. That's bars right there. I ain't gonna even lie.
First of all, this is Lovely's argument that I'm arguing here, but that's beside the point.
Hold on. Before we get too deep into that, because I understand where Lovely's going with that, I've been sitting here laughing at you guys. So, the toilet seat. My big thing is close the bathroom door. I hate, and I honestly, I'll go behind you and I will close it. So that's my thing. It's the germs in the bathroom that come out for me. So you guys are laughing over the toilet. I'm laughing at you guys
Yeah.
over the toilet. I got other issues that I got to deal with than the
Look,
But
toilet.
my
the
wife
underlying
issue
problem
is
is the
I
same
put
thing.
clothes on the couch in the bedroom. And it's like, sometimes I don't know what it is. I just don't feel like hanging it up. I just feel like putting it down right there, and I'm gonna come to it later, and later never shows up. And then she says, she put a little sign, "Don't put the clothes on the couch." I said, "Well, we need to get rid of the couch because now I won't put the clothes on." Simple
See,
solution.
Ooh.
you just being
Ooh.
king in your head. We ain't talking about you.
City
But
boys up. Sorry, nah.
can you understand that the issue is courtesy? It's the same thing with closing the door, pick up your towels. It's all about courtesy. It's not about the individual thing that she is complaining about. But unlike the towels on the floor, if you ever sat in piss, then you would understand.
Well, look, let me just say this: since we're all adults and it's after hours, right? I don't want to hear nothing about piss when we're married because it's not the first time you dealt with my piss.
You know what?
I was just gonna say that, King.
And not
Ooh.
I
on
was
the
like,
and
that's
on
your
the opposite
husband.
end of the street is what we talking about. And maybe not intentionally, but don't
Right.
act like it killed you the other side. So this side definitely ain't gonna kill you.
Mhm.
Right. So how long are you going to spend lingering arguing with your husband because he didn't put the seat down when
Right.
maybe he's mad about something that you didn't do because you've been at home all day or you haven't addressed some issues or some finances
Get
or
it.
some things and he don't even know how to bring that to you because you're too busy complaining about the toilet seat being up or down.
So look,
Well,
I
maybe if
like
you
the
put the
word.
toilet seat down,
She
we
said
can have other
courtesy, right? I love it,
conversations.
but let's shift that word to one that's called mindfulness. And I
There
know
we
Is that gonna
lovely
go.
make you
like
put
that
the toilet?
word
I don't
because in
care
the
what you
therapy
call
world,
it.
it's mindfulness, right? How do we keep
Yeah,
a peace of mind amongst one another? Sometimes we just don't bring ish up. We leave it alone, leave it where it's at. It's
exactly.
who they are, and we do is like my therapist taught me, right? We got to close our pain gap. Allow your expectations and the expectation to meet in the middle. Don't expect something from somebody they can't give you consistently. Otherwise, you ain't gonna be back to the topic. Happy.
Can't or won't.
Well, you
Happiness is
let's
a choice. You choose your
even
emotions every day in your feelings.
You
even
create
when
it.
Yes, it
you
is. It's a
Yeah,
preference, right?
and if you picking small battles to make big battles, then nah, you ain't winning.
The animal
well
you feed is the one
Ooh.
that lives.
what think about how you said courtesy, right? You're wanting or expecting a courtesy from this other human being,
Mm.
right?
Doesn't he expect
And
courtesy from me?
wait, see, can't do that.
I can do
We're,
it, but he can't.
no, because we're see,
Oh,
because now we're doing the tit for tat conversation, and it can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
well, I'm just
It
saying
Right.
won't go
courtesy is
anywhere. It's like, look,
both of
we're
us.
talking about a man, we're talking about this, and we're talking about the courtesy that you expect. I can't talk about because he's not here. We can only talk about you because he's not here to defend himself. So that's only fair, right?
Well, what him are you talking about? We were talking about the scenario presented by King.
Well,
The
We
you
him
were
that
letting
is
changed the
know.
courteous to open the
scenario
door
when
for when he
once you
pull up in the
said,
driveway.
yeah, okay. So how about let's start over. The guy, when you
Starting
talk
over.
about courtesy, you're expecting a courtesy from this person.
Mm.
You
Everybody,
expect
every person.
Nope.
okay. Hold
Everybody
on.
Hmm.
will tell it down.
Okay. So does that mean that we get to expect certain things from you
Absolutely.
Exactly. Exactly.
all the time?
No,
And I
not
get to
all the
judge
time.
you. Wait.
Oh, 30%
Oh,
of the time.
you hold on. You can expect things from me all the time. Absolutely. You can even judge me if you want to. Absolutely. But as long as we communicated about it, ain't no foul.
Okay, wait a minute, wait a minute.
I
Wait a minute.
All right,
We
help
can
me. Help me here.
I
talk
love
about
this
it
room.
all
Everybody in this
day
room, y'all get a
long.
hug from me.
We can talk about it all day long, but when you sit on that toilet and the pee is there, you're gonna get pissed again. How
Literally.
about we stop arguing about it and do
Uh-oh.
something about it?
Did
Let's
y'all catch
work a
that man
plan
said,
out. But you cannot expect somebody to have certain moralistic values that you have because they weren't brought up in your house. You didn't teach them for
Ooh.
50 years.
Oh my.
Somebody else taught them for 50 years before they saw you. Somebody else taught them
Right.
for 30 years before they saw you.
So
So you got
everything
to put
takes
in your work.
communication.
It,
That's a
If
well,
I
it,
have
it's not just
communicated to you,
communication, it's work.
well, it
Like,
starts
I
with
need this to
communication,
work
right?
together.
Well,
We're
It
and
starts
working
there's
with
together.
communication.
there's
You can be
also a
living with
form of
Well,
yourself
put a
for
sticky
5
note up
years.
some. Put a sticky note by the
Hold
toilet.
on.
You
I
know.
ain't putting no sticky note up for no grown ass man.
but
Hold
but
up.
there's
Hey,
Well,
Okay,
see,
I'm gonna
good.
right
tell
there.
See.
Then
I'm gonna
you
tell you
you
like
don't
they
want to
taught
help
us in the
him meet that
military,
Hold
right?
expectation.
on. Listen,
The
listen.
military said it's better to be pissed off than pissed on. So you choose your battles,
but this
You
is the
can live
thing.
by
This is
unless
the
yourself
that's
thing.
your
It's
thing.
See,
not
look,
for
even about
5 whole
expectations.
years.
I was just about to
It's
say that's what
about
I'm about to. That's what I'm about
Hold
to
on,
get to,
lovely.
man.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
You can live by yourself for 5 years and piss all over the toilet and not realize it. The moment you get in a relationship with your woman and she says, "Babe, you see, this is a problem, right?" That's
Then
a
wipe it up.
communication. Even if I wipe it up, you were not a dog and you're not a kid.
Oh my, the
That
way
just
you
doesn't
look,
make any
if you, it's like we were just talking about
Instantaneous.
this
yeah.
yesterday, right? We was talking about this yesterday in a relationship, man. Because it ain't that serious, man. You really about to get a whole
what is
divorce
not
because
that.
of a drip.
Hey,
She go
listen, ain't
drip.
But I'm
nobody
just
Your
saying
said.
Honor,
that.
he been pissing on
Listen,
the seats for 10 years, and
ain't
I'm tired
nobody
of this.
Yeah,
said
right.
nothing about
So then
divorce.
that's what lovely was meaning. It got to be a bigger problem. If you let some little stuff like that get to you, it's something that's bigger where you don't want to compromise in
Right.
your
The
relationship, right? To
issue
make it work.
is
It's all
courtesy.
about compromising.
It's not about the piss on the toilet per se. It is the courtesy of somebody coming in the bathroom behind you.
So
Yeah,
here's
That's
my
a
okay, but
question.
difference.
but your
Here's
that
my question.
courtesy
Are
is
you
something that you
is
expect.
is everyone
I'm sorry, what?
courteous 100% of the time?
No,
100%.
No,
no.
not at all.
No,
No, I love it.
of course
Look,
not.
Lovely knocking some stuff out
courtesy.
today. I like it.
Look, courtesy extends on how you think. Let me just be real with all the women. And I think most of y'all know that because I love the room. Y'all sound mature and understand this. Let me just put the facts out there. Ain't no man thinking about your ass when he going to the bathroom.
Fine, no problem.
Exactly.
I
It's
agree
just
with
that
that.
simple. We're not thinking about you now. If we're going to dinner, I'm thinking about you. I'm gonna be courteous. If we're going to the car, I'm thinking about you getting in the car with me. I'm gonna open the door for you. But when I'm going to the bathroom, that's a selfish moment. I am not thinking about you going to the bathroom and leaving the bathroom. That was all about me. That's why this is a private area. That's why porta potties don't have two seats in them. They got one because it's all about us at that moment. We're not thinking about the other person. And I think when you approach it from that perspective, it'll shift your expectations of when somebody goes in the bathroom. I don't expect somebody to go to the bathroom, pass gas, walk out, and then think about who's walking in next and say, hold on, let me spray. They don't do
But
that on a regular basis, right?
that's
Right.
unreasonable. That's
Right.
unreasonable.
Because it's about
That
you at the moment. Your bowels told you to move, your urine said, your bladder said to go, and
Right.
that's all you thinking about.
but there's
Yeah.
a difference between passing gas and peeing on the toilet.
Not
Come on
really
now.
for us. Not for a
That's
man,
an
it ain't.
unreasonable ask.
We go outside.
Another
That happens without your
expectation.
consent.
That's
That's
It's
just
all.
just
another
another
expectation.
expectation.
Right. We're not
It
wired
is.
the same. Men
And
and
that's
women
where
are
we
not
hurt
wired the
ourselves at.
same. As soon as you
I
recognize
don't
that men and women
listen.
are wired differently, the relationship gets easier.
It's
Yeah.
not about being wired differently. That's courtesy. That's expected from both parties.
How so?
No,
That's all I'm
no,
saying.
it's
This
no.
is this is
No,
not that difficult.
hey, no
It
man
The
don't
ever
have
told
to
him, hey,
courtesy.
watch this. Let me prove you wrong. No man ever walked in the bathroom and say, Kev, why you put the toilet seat up, man? That's not right. You know I gotta come to the bathroom.
I was
No
just
men ever
gonna say
argued over
that,
toilet
King.
seat.
I was just gonna
none
say
of
that,
that
King.
matters
Men don't
though.
do that to men.
So no, it's
That
not the same.
that does
Well,
not matter. Nobody expects you to be thinking about her when you go to the bathroom. It's just a common courtesy. If you know you
but
share
you're
a
trying to
bathroom,
Common to
you're saying
who?
you're trying to say common courtesy is like common sense. Like
Right.
everybody's just
but it's
supposed to
common
know.
after I've communicated it. We're not talking
But
about
but wait wait
everybody.
wait
Let's
wait
let's
wait
focus.
It's
right there
common
is
in
what
your
Me
it's
and
That's
common
just
that
in your
right
sound
there.
like
explain
you
Hear
that.
me
trying to
out.
change
Hear
the
me out.
person.
Hear me out.
That
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Changing a person is asking you not to pee on the toilet. This is
No,
wild.
hear me
no.
out. Okay, wait. If
You
the
should bring
person
it.
pees, hear me out. Just hear me out. Walk through it and just open your mind. If a person pees on the toilet and that's what they do, then when you teach them something else, they do something new. They learn how not to pee on the toilet. But if you just complain about it, there's no such the common courtesy is something that you would have in your moralistic or your environment that you were brought up in. For me, yeah, I'm a swipe and wiper because I came up with women and they yelled and beat and beat on me for not swiping and wiping. So I'm different. Now it may be a man that, hey, we didn't have to do that. However, it's the common courtesy if you tell a man like, oh yeah, you did this. First of all, like work it out. It's not common. You
Working
gotta
it
figure
out
this
is
out. You working with a
communicating.
person that might not know how to put the toilet seat. He might just be that damn dumb, but a brilliant man for you. But for
Oh,
toilet
you being
seats, he
dramatic
dumb as
now.
hell.
No, you being dramatic.
Right.
No,
Well,
you
no,
being
No,
like
I'm
what we
dramatic.
I'm
were
I'm
saying
putting it in a
before.
sort of simpler form.
Why is a simple communication nagging though?
No, well, that's the thing, though. It becomes nagging when you're not pointing out when he does put the toilet seat down. We cannot always just nag about, oh, the fact that you
Alter
didn't leave the
ego.
toilet seat
There we
up.
go.
You already brought up that conversation with that man. If he forgets, if you're going to dwell on that, what are you wasting your time? What are you
Right.
distracting yourself from? If you're going to dwell
Well,
on the fact that your man left that
oh
toilet
dang.
seat up and you fell in the toilet or whatever happened because he didn't have common courtesy, because he was thinking logical, maybe he was in a rush, maybe he was getting out to go mow the lawn, he wasn't thinking about putting the toilet seat down. We all distract ourselves.
Right.
If we are not pointing out the times that he did put the toilet seat
Right.
down, then now we're only focused on the negative. We're only
What
focused
about
on
this
what
then?
means you
All
didn't
right,
meet.
hold on.
Reinforced
I want to
behavior.
ask you a quick
Right.
question. 'Cause, like, I haven't really like jumped into this conversation, and I only really caught the like last part of what Lovely said. But I want to know. So what? Because if he was thinking logically, wouldn't logically, once you open something, closing it would be the next proper response logically?
Mm,
Nope. Not at
thank
all.
you.
Not
Nope.
not not if it's more beneficial for me to leave or put something in a certain position for easy access.
That's selfish, not logic.
That's not
You can call it
selfish.
what you want. It's logic to the person that's actually doing it. Okay, let
Well,
me give you an
well,
example. When
it's
it
But why
comes,
is
it's
that a
not.
King.
hard ask?
The woman
King
didn't
is
lift it up. The woman doesn't lift it up for the man. So what's the
okay. Wait.
Mm.
difference?
Well, but this is what King, I think he's kind of saying because when you have single men out here living on their own, they
there
don't
you
have
go.
to close the toilet. They don't.
Thank you. And
They
he
Again,
don't
because
develops
even
of
a habit.
they
hey,
Right. It's
they
just a
are
when you
habit.
dating
You
get in
ask
a
them to change the
Xbox
habit
relationship,
overnight.
and play Keisha.
But
when you get in a
They not worried
we're in
about
relationship,
the
toilet
realm
closing.
of you being with a significant other, correct? You're living together at that point. Like you're no longer a single man, and you haven't been for some time, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay,
Unless I'm
okay. So
misinterpreting
that
the
means like if
conversation.
I go get a dog from the animal shelter, I'm just supposed to expect that dog to not pee in the
are
house
you a
or
dog?
Right.
nothing.
I'm
I'm just
exactly
gonna bring it in, and be
because
like,
I
and be
agree with
Are
mad
that.
as
you a
hell.
dog? Are you a
But
Wait,
I'm
dog
being
per
no,
dog
because
to
se?
the animal
we
shelter.
actually
What
give
I
dogs
expect
more
to
credit
train
than
is
we
what
get as
I
humans.
feel
We'll
nothing
go
to
wipe up
do
that piss and be
with
happy about it and talk baby talk and work it out with the dog, but we
You
won't
gonna be
work it
Uh-oh.
alright.
out with the
There we
human.
You gonna
go.
be
Now
alright.
we're getting to it. Corey,
Okay,
keep
but
So
talking,
I
please.
got
if
something real quick. I
if
got
he
something real quick.
wants to
So
be
what about
considered
this?
as dogs,
What?
just say that.
Boris, we ain't gonna get to that though. So I'm gonna say, what
Yeah,
about
nah,
this then?
that's
How
acceptable.
about if a man was getting on you about keep leaving your hair in the sink and stuff, or anywhere around the
Exactly.
house?
And on the
Would that
He
turn
would
floor,
him
have
nagging?
everywhere it
to.
falls. Thank you, Kev.
He
Come
would.
on with it.
Thank
He
you,
would not
Kev.
have to because I would adjust. He would not
You
have
can't
to.
adjust to a toilet seat.
Y'all got the cap. I need some caps in there.
Again,
So,
I am not
Still,
following and
still
going in
poet.
so
You know
around
isn't
I'm
it?
you.
always
Isn't
on
it?
your side. You know I'm
Look
always
both
behind you.
ways before crossing the street. Why is it so hard to look down before you sit?
Right.
I'm not saying I'm falling in every time. That's not
Well,
what we're saying.
that's Alicia Keys. What some people saying they
We're
keep
just
following.
saying put the
But like, all right. So here's my thing. Is that like, so
let me
y'all
go
asked me
on.
about the toilet seat whenever I came in, and I said that I sit down and piss that way. But like, my wife asked me a couple of times to not leave the toilet seat up or don't piss on the toilet seat, and so I changed my habits.
Have
Thank
you
you,
ever
because that's what you're
forgotten?
supposed to
Hold
do
on. I
when you
want to ask him.
communicate with
I want to
other
ask the
people.
men.
Overnight,
I want to ask the men. Have you ever, if your wife or your partner or your spouse has ever brought up the fact that the toilet seat was left up, have you ever forgotten since the time she brought it up?
No,
hell yeah.
You've never, like, oops.
I'm peeing
no,
and the
because
baby crying.
I think
Her helping pee and go check on the baby. Yeah, I forgot it up.
I mean,
Exactly.
for me, no, because when she explained to me like that, like she explained, maybe it was just that time of the month, but she was super dramatic about it, and because I remember her being as dramatic as she was about it, I just was like, yeah, let's make sure not to leave this.
One moment.
I'm having a hard time hearing it. Is he like 10 feet away from his phone? Like,
Yeah,
what's going
Touche,
on?
Yeah,
you're a
I'm like
little
right up
low.
on my phone. Can
Hey,
y'all hear
let
me?
me throw. Hey, just so y'all know, let me throw a disclaimer
Y'all
in
hear me?
there. I'm a big advocate. I put the toilet seat down in my house, guys. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
understanding both
Right.
perspectives, just so
Right.
y'all
Exactly.
know. In case
Me
I think
too.
everybody's in a good headspace here, but just in case they got some people pop up in here and want to go gangster, when I'm willing to
Right.
go gangster with them, I do put the toilet seat down.
And
But I
poet, I'm
understand
right
Me
there with
too.
you,
why
I do it
poet.
somebody
too, but
might not do
Because
it. So
I'm
I'm
a
I
woman
just
too,
want
arguing.
to
I'm
get
poet.
being the
somewhere
devil's
like
advocate tonight.
All right,
and I
can
do it too though, but
can
I just
can
want to
y'all hear
get
me?
to like why is this and that's what I was saying. That's the whole problem is these expectations and entitlements is what's be hurting the whole entire, just
Yeah.
Relationships.
relationships and everything in general. Because we have
Mm-hmm.
expectations on other humans that got their own mentality and adjustments what they want to do. So why we do that and then get mad at ourselves because we wanted somebody to be the way we wanted them to be. Like people
Hey,
gonna make
potato
mistakes.
pie.
People gonna they gonna do
I
whatever. How
think
you? I mean, at the end of the day, do you really love this person? Right? Are you
Get
gonna
get a
Right.
bidet.
adjust? Are you gonna try to
Just get
work
a
with them?
bidet.
Huh?
Well,
Get a
because you
bidet
know
and
what?
call it a day. Just
You know
get a
what
bidet and just call it a
Can
expectations
y'all
day.
hear
lead
me?
to? You know what
The win-
expectations lead to? Control.
windows of disappointment. No, expectation is
Control.
Disappointment
gratification.
but
too. Y'all both right.
Hold
the
on,
That's
hold
y'all
on.
both right. Disappointment and control.
Expectations. Hold
Yep.
on. Expectation also leads to change.
I
So
What?
let's
wanted
not
to
do
say
that.
one thing real quick.
Let's
It,
not do that.
awareness.
What?
While
I'm gonna agree with you
Awareness.
back.
I agree.
while
I agree.
What
Awareness.
unrealistic
your
expectation leads
expectations
to
could be
deranged.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Unrealistic.
just throwing
Exactly.
stuff in there.
The
yeah,
range
and
Expectations don't
delusion.
while
always lead to disappointment because if you don't know, then
They
somebody
can
who
lead to
does
change.
know and they hold on and they have an expectation of you, right? It can lead to a positive change. If you are not in a relationship to be influenced by your partner, then what are we doing? If you know everything, stay single. If you
That's
satisfy
an
No,
everything,
expectation
no,
about an
no.
expectation.
if
That
you're
depends on what
okay,
you're trying to
let's
change
Isn't that
though.
an
define
expectation about an
The
expectation?
goal
expectation.
What the
the
heck?
goal of
It's
a
supposed to be
relationship is
positive. You
not to
talk to
make
them.
your partner yourself. It's to embrace the differences between the two so y'all progress together.
Yeah,
Exactly. Well,
But,
that's the point.
but
It
also,
leads
also
to
part of being
change.
in a partnership is to grow to be the best version of yourself with somebody, correct?
yes,
Mm.
yeah.
That's the
I
goal of a
No,
can
relationship,
I
isn't it?
can I
no.
say
Well,
something?
No.
it,
Be the best family because y'all
it
one with
just,
each other. You can't be the
Yo,
best
Hey,
can I
yourself.
say
can
something
I
real quick?
can I get a little piece of this? Can I get a little
Go
piece?
ahead.
Man,
Jump
can
in
I
there,
say
Corey. Come
like
on.
one
Hey,
thing real quick?
Okay, well, hold on. I'm gonna let Joker go. Then I'm gonna let
go ahead.
Curry after that.
Satan, the Lord rebuke you trying to hop in
She
this.
was sweating down there.
He is over there biting his
I
hand.
just
That's
can't.
how bad this
come
man is
on.
sweating.
Please.
Did y'all not see this
somebody
man
got
biting
extra
his hand?
audio.
all I want to say
Somebody
for
got
two
extra audio.
sentences. Okay, so all I wanted to say was that your expectations could be fair to you, but if you put your expectations on someone else that doesn't have those same habits, expectations, or behaviors, then that's unjust to do to
Right.
them. You can't
Girl,
use
it's a mouthful.
Yeah,
like
you're
You
basically
It
almost
would
setting yourself up for
hold
failure.
on. It would be
exactly.
unjust
We put
if you do not communicate effectively with them, right? Somebody could not understand what I'm saying, but I have to have a level of patience for the partner I picked. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
right.
And look, the
But look,
reality is this.
and so
Just because you ask for
part of
something
that
don't mean
is
you're going to get it either.
get it right
I
because
want
that's
a
an
million
right,
expectation
dollars.
about an
because part of
expectation.
that
That's what I'm
is
saying.
part of
I
That's
that
get
is
everything I
entitlement.
want. That's an
that if
entitlement mentality.
Entitlement.
especially if
Right.
they prioritize your emotions and they prioritize things for you and the family, you can't expect them to do everything right. Like they're gonna
Mm,
have certain things that they're gonna, I mean, fail at, which is maybe putting the damn toilet seat down. But I
right.
mean, the same thing can be true for. I mean, you don't put the toilet seat up for him, so at the same time,
Right.
it's not fair either way. So
Like she gonna clean her hair up every time. Get out of here, bro.
The
90s R.
expectations,
Now I blame 90s R&B for this conversation
Like she go
the
bald headed. Maybe.
expectations.
because they're gonna give you the
go ahead,
sun, the
y'all.
moon, the stars, and the mountain. They're gonna give you the world. And the reality is you can't get all that, baby. You can get one or the
Hmm.
other.
The
Curry, did you go
expectation
yet?
is
No, he been waiting.
can I
So Curry,
can
you
I
can go and
just
then Touche
say
after that.
can I just say something real quick? The expectation is changed. The expectation is not now.
Facts.
I never said that. Go ahead, I'm done.
Okay. First of all, when you meet people, you are already in expectation. You
Mhm.
expecting them. to be nice, to be sweet, to be sexy, whatever. I can expect this woman that I meet to mow grass or whatever I want. I can that's just what it is. The deal is that there's a compatibility that comes with expectations, right? Now, I can get a plastic bolt and put it on the back of a Cadillac, and and I can expect it to hold. It might hold for the first red light, and then it breaks. It's com- it's kind of it works, but it's not compatible with what makes it last.
Mm.
So you have a compatibility that comes with expectations, but everybody's expecting something. You just have to work on those things. Like, hey, I'm in expectation with you now. It's just we do it wrong. We say, "Oh, I'm in love." You have to go through something to be in love. But if you have to be in learn, then in expectation, then once you don't have your expectations met, that's where love happens. Because love happens when expectations aren't met. Thank you for that.
Mm.
I
I
heard. I
just
know boundaries. Now, if you say it that way, I get it. Everybody
yeah,
got their own
boundaries.
boundaries and
I
stuff.
agree
Right.
with you, but
But
That's right.
expecting anything from somebody is that's where you get to the disappointment part.
exactly.
When I meet people, I don't expect you to be nothing of what I don't see. Like if I meet you in person and I shake your hand, I expect you to be exactly what I see you as. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when
That's
you
a fact, Touche. Maya
it,
Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so when you say you meet people and you expect them to be a certain way, well, you just leading yourself to a road of disappointment. Because
Mm-hmm.
whenever I meet somebody, I don't care under any circumstances, this app, in person, seminar, I don't expect nothing from them. I say, hey, this is who hello, how you doing? What's your name? Okay, that's your name. That's it. I don't expect you to be some type of amazing six-figure making person. I don't expect you to be a woman who does this, that. I'm not expecting anything. That's I think a lot of problem with people, and they need to get that out of the
You
notion
got
is
to.
expecting
Yeah.
others. When you expect
Expect what I'm
something,
showing
you
you.
like,
Well,
well, I
well,
would.
You need to be
Whenever somebody
yourself.
expects something, they say I would, or I mean, I don't get why they would. Like, yeah, because you saying key words in there, you're not even catching up on them. Whenever people have a conversation with me, and it's something where they be like, I can't believe that happened because I would have never. Yeah, you said a word right there. You would have never. You just put an expectation of yourself onto someone else. And the late
Right.
great Nipsey Hussle said it in an interview. You cannot put your expectations of me on me. So I'm not expecting anyone that because when you, like I said, uh, expectations are the windows to disappointment.
Boundaries.
I'm not
Thank
expecting.
you, Hobo.
I'm
But
gonna
they're the
show you.
windows to
So
they're
touche.
the
if you're
windows
I
not
to
mean,
boundaries.
expecting,
Because
well,
if you're not
expectations,
expecting, then you're open.
if somebody does not meet your expectation, then you've set a boundary to say, if this person doesn't do it this way for me, if they break that, that's on you. Boundaries are not meant for you. They're not meant for the other person. They're meant
Mm,
for
So
you.
you
So
just
now you
said
yeah.
got to
that if
look back at
somebody,
yourself.
Right.
Right.
you just
Look,
said if
the
well,
somebody
only
walks up to
the
you
only
and
thing
well,
worth
slaps your
arguing for
face,
me is the
well,
hold on.
non-negotiables.
You just said if
TJ,
Real quick,
somebody
too. We're
walks up
talking
to
Hey,
about
you,
like 4 or 5 of
expectations
y'all is
lead to
talking at one time, and
disappointment.
I cannot hear y'all.
what
touche,
Lola just said was,
Touche said
if some,
something right on it. And the way it went in is like, hey, you shouldn't have expectations. Like you shouldn't be this way.
Right.
Now, what normally happens in today's society is I can expect whatever I want from you. I can expect you to be a killer, a murderer. I can expect you to give me money. I can expect whatever I want. The problem is I can't expect for it to happen the way I want it to.
Right.
That's where things get twisted. When you don't get what you want, and then that's what the meaning of unhappiness means when I'm not
That's
getting what
control.
I want.
but you're using
Going with
strangers
the
to
whole thing.
Can
define,
I ask a quick
you're
question?
using strangers to define a relationship between two people. I don't expect from the world what I expect from my partner because within my relationship,
She got a phone call. Poet,
But you're
Can
still
I ask a
expecting
real quick
something.
question?
poet, D&D your phone when we on live.
Is it all right if I ask a quick question?
Go ahead.
So King, does your wife expect you not to go to the strip club and spend $20,000 every night?
Whoa.
That's because that's communicated. Yes, you would. And guess what? The only way we balance expectations is by looking at what's negotiable and non-negotiable. In our relationship, we had a conversation about our non-negotiables, things that are deal breakers or things that will frustrate us or cause us to repeat this over and over
Compatibility.
again. So that conversation comes up. I dated my wife almost 2 years before marrying her, and we had real conversation. Was at a distance, so we had to drive to one another. So every dialogue was meaningful. So strip club, my wife does not want me to go to strip club. And I have to assess, is that something I'm willing to negotiate? And it was, yeah, so it's easy for me. So yeah. So the fact that if I was to go to a strip club and spend money, I know that I violated her non-negotiable. I violated her expectations that were communicated, and I'm in the wrong.
Mm.
There you
Everyone
go.
has different non-negotiables. So if you're with a person who is not willing to deal with your non-negotiable, then you shouldn't be with that person. It's
And
as
that's
simple
simple.
as that.
That's facts. I like to
That's
talk
called a
about the non.
boundary.
I don't argue about something that's a non-negotiable. If this was a non-negotiable that was communicated, we need to talk. But if this is like we're talking about the toilet seat, it's all lighthearted. We ain't had a conversation about the toilet seat. So why we spending any energy when we got a life ahead of us talking about no fucking toilet seat? Let's talk about stuff that look, I didn't pay the bill. I forgot to pick up the baby. You left the child in the car. Let's talk about those non-negotiables. Let's not talk about all that petty stuff.
So look, what I be telling people nowadays is because I understand like most of that stuff is really just boundaries and stuff. If somebody cross your boundaries and they getting X stuff or whatever. Because like really with expectations, I feel like majority of the ones we make is just really unrealistic. Because we can't tell another person. We barely can't even tell ourselves because expectations is not guaranteed to, to fall through. So I tell people two of the main things that's realistic that you can expect is you can expect the unexpected, and you can expect that you're gonna be in the grave one day. Them the two things that's legit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
look,
that's the only thing that really don't change.
here, Kev, I love what you just said because here's the thing, right? Here's the problem with most people's expectation. The key word is most. Is that
Yep.
we normally design our expectations around creating someone that's us and not
Right.
with the expectations of what's compatible with us or helps us along the way, which may very well be different. So most people have these are my expectations. Forgot they said my first, which leaves them in a bad position because that means that you're expecting everybody to become you. But my
Mm.
expectations of others are not to become me. I even have to tell my assistant, remember this, like, I can't do it like King. I don't want you to do it like King. Stay in the
Hmm.
ballpark, but I don't want you to swing the bat like me. I don't want you to catch the ball. Be you, because that's why I'm recruited you, because need something different in my life. So when I got
Hmm.
a partner, I'm admiring and appreciating your differences as long as they don't violate my non-negotiables.
Mm.
So
No.
when you're talking about a partner, right? You are talking about a personal relationship. Your expectations are going.
What the, look at God. Sorry, no, I'm talking.
Praise God. Won't he do it? End up talking about her personal situation, and it's actually exhausting. Like, it's whatever personally works for you. That is okay. That is fine and dandy. I mean, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
argue with no man over no fucking toilet seat.
Mm-mm.
I'm
That,
not gonna
If,
yeah.
if,
do it.
if the toilet is
I'm
that
not even
important,
gonna.
it should be a
I'm not even
non-negotiable.
gonna
You bring it
argue
up on
over
a
him
date.
for leaving dishes on the table. What the fuck is the point? Put the dishes in the damn sink or wash them or some shit. Like, it's easy fix stuff that you don't argue about when you marry.
Right. Like my
Like,
wife,
you
right?
don't.
My wife talked about a topic, right? Like I work, so I go to work I go to my office about 6:30 in the morning, leave at 3, go back for 6 or 7 o'clock, could be in there as long as 1 o'clock sometimes. I might come home and eat late and I didn't eat all the food in the bowl and I leave it on the counter. My wife politely asked me, baby, you mind scraping it out because these odor? And I didn't do it automatically. It took me a while to get the mind because at that time of night, I'm really exhausted and tired and I'm choosing the shortest route to get to bed. And she understood that. She made her requisition known. But she didn't nag me because I didn't do it automatically. And because she didn't nag me, I followed my philosophy. That woman that asks for little gets everything from me. I hear you, I see you, but give me a chance to balance out all this most important shit so I can give you the things I really want to give you. And when she gives me that space, I'm a king in the castle, and she's treated like a queen. But if you keep nagging me, then you're treated like a peasant. I'm gonna ignore your ass until I can get a break.
And so I think that's beautiful. And that's a wonderful thing about communication. Over time, we can prove or disprove what we like and what we don't like. So when we are just getting into communication, a relationship with people, it's not going to look like that. There's going to take a little bit more communication. You've shown your wife these things over time. So she has that understanding. In the beginning, we don't have that understanding. That's why
Right.
communication is
Are
so
you
important.
are you expected understanding out of communication?
Am I expecting understanding out of communication?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that is the purpose, to come to an understanding.
Mm.
What point are you making, Kev?
Mm. Say no.
Oh, wait. Well, we got questions
It's
too.
not that deep. It really isn't.
It
That's
really
what
The
she
isn't.
said.
problem is we want to communicate one time only, and let that be the standard.
Come
Communication
Right.
is a
on, girl.
constant thing.
It takes
That's
time to
constant,
build. It takes
right?
time.
You got to come back to it.
I'm not gonna
Here's
lie.
the question. Hobo asked the question in the comments. What is the difference between a reminder and nagging?
Right.
Frequency and
It's a
attitude
thin
behind
line
it.
between that. I'm,
The
Ooh, he said
frequency and the
frequency
attitude
and
behind it.
attitude. Okay, I like that, King. That's so
That's fair.
true.
I
It's
not
how you
even
bring
that
it.
though. Well, I
Yeah.
get.
I would say
Well, you said frequency. Yeah,
frequency and
frequent. Yeah, I get you now.
importance.
Frequency and attitude. Yeah. Your
'Cause if you
tone.
keep frequently saying the same thing, even at a low tone, that's gonna get
Watch this.
annoying.
When you start talking to me like one of the children, how many times I gotta ask you this? Oh, we done changed it up. That's nagging now.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
I,
I
I,
agree.
I, I would
Or
100%.
say it if you repetitively talk about something that's not like a life or death or like harmful or financially trying or any like it won't harm you guys in any way. I think that's nagging.
Oh
But
boy, you
here's the
silly.
But then
misconception.
we have
The
to look at the
misconception
person making that
is
request for that expectation.
the misconception is that just because it's not important to you doesn't mean it's not important to her. Over
Exactly.
and
time,
just because
something
it's
that
important to
hold
her,
on. Over time, something that is seemingly small could wear a person down, no matter how big it is. Because if I don't have influence on in my relationship, then what are we doing together? Right? Who do I need to ask then
I
for you to
like how
put the
you
seat
said
down?
that. That mean that's
Ooh, so
something you.
look,
If
so
it's something
I
that
love
small
that
that wear
statement,
you
right?
Get
down,
That-
these
That's
Right.
why
get
it's
these
important
Know
not
it.
to
to
take
get
people's
these
shortcomings
5 dishes
personal every
washed in
time.
the sink. Who do I need to ask? Right? If my displeasure does not move you, why am I in a relationship with you? Your job is to pick somebody who's reasonable that you can deal with. So I
boy.
get it.
Hmm.
When you say nagging and frequency, absolutely. That would make all the difference. If she's
Hmm.
nagging all the time and often enough when you're dating her, then it's probably not somebody you want to marry. But once you have picked to marry this person, then you must learn their quirks like they learn yours. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
I was going to ask this question,
All I'm
Poet, and
saying, I
maybe
bet
you
not
you
see no
can
hearing
answer.
and sink.
You and everybody on this panel. Do you think people stay in relationships too long because they either can't meet the expectations of themselves, or because the other person isn't meeting the expectations?
I don't think it's too long. I think it's not enough effective communication. What King said
Mm-hmm.
was frequency and
Oh,
attitude would lead to communication, but it's not effective because he's turned you off.
oh, let
But
me
you got to
hit you
do
with
your
something real
own.
quick that I just learned yesterday with AJ. Oh, I ain't learned it, but we heard it. So besides effective communication, you need effective listening too. You know what I'm saying? It got to work two ways. You know what I'm saying? That's
Oh
why.
Well,
yes.
That's
effective communication involves the listener, and the sender, and receiver. So
now
that's what
you
makes
can
it
say
effective.
something effective, but if the person not listening to it right or not trying or can't understand it, that it's like it's pointless. It's a two-way street. You know what I'm saying?
You cannot
Well, I
look,
think
kids. You cannot
what
emotionally manipulate people, right? Let's talk about that. Let's
what
bring that
some
up, right?
people do
If
though,
I'm going to
Kev.
use my emotions to manipulate your behavior, then you already got a chink in your arm in the relationship. There should be a
Yep.
So
genuine connection and an understanding of who you are, who
Yep.
you're trying to become over a period of time. When well, I feel like, and you should respect me. I'm not talking about disrespectful
Hmm.
conversations. If I'm going to say because I'm unhappy in the moments that you should automatically cater to me, then that's not fair to the other person because that's manipulation at the end of the day. We
Well,
have to
us.
have a reasonable conversation, see what makes sense, and prioritize our efforts based on what we're dealing with as a couple in life. And I think
Well,
couples,
just
they
be.
play this tit for tat stuff.
hmm,
I don't like the way you do that. What does that got to do with where we're going right now? Give me some
just
time.
be.
Right.
Don't try to manipulate
Ken,
me by saying I'm sad, I'm not happy. And guys do it to girls just as much as women do it to men.
you're so right,
Manipulation
King.
has
If
everything
you
to do
think
with
about
the
it,
intent.
just because you listen, you can just listen. A lot of people listen and they're so willing to respond. Sometimes you don't have to respond. Why can't you just listen?
So
Why
I
does
Manipulation.
it
got something
always
then.
have to be a response?
Manipulation has
I,
everything to do with the person's intent, right?
Yeah,
Just because someone is emotional doesn't mean they're trying to manipulate you. The emotion could be an involuntary reaction. In
it can
between
be.
two people, you're supposed to know each other, right?
so I got
If you're in a
something then.
relationship, you're getting to know each other, right? Why would you marry a person or even be in a relationship with a person who you know whines to get what they want?
Well, look, my friend, I'm gonna answer that real quick and let Kev have his platform. Because it takes a lifetime to know a person. People evolve and change as life and circumstances change. You never truly know a person in their future. You know them in their present. So you have to have a willingness to be patient with the person's evolution, how they receive things, how they interpret things. Because you know what? The guy you met had a full-time job. He loses his job, get a lower payment. His whole emotional seat changes. How he responds changes. And women, we want them to have our babies. She has a baby, her emotional seat changes. So there's got to be a willingness to adjust to the emotional long haul. If you expect the person you met to know everything that day, a year from now, 5 years from now, then you set your expectations in the wrong place because who I was 5 years ago does not match who I am now, and who I am now is not going to match the person 5 years down the road.
Right.
And I'm not disagreeing with
So
any of
this
that.
what I was gonna get to because like we said, okay, because I noticed that everybody got their importance and stuff. I think the most important thing is doing do what's best for the family or the connection. You know what I'm saying? Because we
Yeah.
go for the little stuff, right? The little stuff, and that's what I'm saying. Like true love. This how I feel, right? True love is really it really is. What was the word yesterday? I just saying the word. It started with a C. Freak. I'm mad. I was just talking about it earlier. Com,
Was it
com,
contentment? Contentment.
no, no, no. Like when
No.
it's not like sacrificing for some compromise. Thank you, thank you. What the freak, bro? What compromising? Right? It's compromising. So it's like even if you see your partner have a problem, right? Can't put the seat down 100 times, right? If you really love that person, you're not about to complain about it. You just like, all right, this how it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not really that serious. Let me just do it, man. I'm not about to keep getting on his head. I'm gonna let him when he get used to it, he gonna do it himself. You know, vice versa. If I know you ain't about to pick up every last piece of hair all the time, I'm not about to keep talking about it every last single time I see it in there. Because like, why do I gotta let that make my whole marriage angry? You know what I'm saying? Just because one couple little things that I choose to make important out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So, like, even when we do in communication, all that stuff, it got to be a time in your life where you got to compromise. You got to. If you really love this person, right? Because it's way more things that's in that relationship than just the flaws that's happening, right? You got to even deal with the flaws. You know what I'm saying? Everything can't go your way all the time. It's just got to be your real intentions of why y'all with each other.
But to do that, Kev, you have to communicate. And communication is a constant thing. You can't just lay the law down one time and expect people to remember all of it. You have to get with someone who understands your place in the family.
Facts.
It's
Understand,
Right.
right?
I should be
Right.
thinking about the family when I make moves, but ultimately, I'm going to leave that to you. So if I come with you a request, I don't expect that to be in competition with you caring for the family. You should be able to do both, especially something that small. I think at this point, we need another example because putting the toilet seat up is just
That's what I,
ridiculous.
and that's
That
what
was
I
I
just
know.
that
mean.
was
Well,
just
And
you
look,
triggering,
have to
right?
start
I'm about
small,
to counter
poet.
that again. Once again, that was my whole
Hey,
point.
can I
That
tap into what
communication stuff.
poet?
Hold on real
Can I
quick. Hold on
tap
real
into
quick.
what poet said about communication?
Yeah, give me 1 second. 1 second. I got you. But I'm just saying, like, that was my whole point. I know you keep going back to communication, but some stuff just can't get it eventually not get communicated. Like I said, you can communicate so much that it end up turning to nagging. But I'm saying once you understand your partner, the reason why I feel the importance of it is like you. That's why I'm saying you start making them adjustments because you're gonna start understanding that like he's not uh he's not adjusting quick enough to keep lifting this, whatever. Okay, whatever you want to talk about. But some stuff is just like, you got to understand, y'all got to really understand each other, that some stuff just don't work right away. Some stuff might not, or, you got to really know the intentions of why y'all even really with each other anyways. Because you can communicate all you want, but that don't mean it's going to go the way you want it to go. And that's just something you have to understand. That's all it is. You can communicate it all you want, but some stuff, understanding somebody, that's a whole nother thing. You gotta actually understand who you with anyways. You know what I'm saying? That even comes with before y'all even get married. It comes before you get married. So that communication, all that stuff was before you even get married. So why you have to all I'm getting to is just that y'all really have to understand each other. If you want to make it work, you're gonna find your best way to make it work and not let little stuff like that destroy your relationship. That's all I'm saying.
even
That
even
compromise, that
according to
compromise stuff is real.
Mm-hmm.
even according to
I mean,
psychology, it takes a bit of time to form a new habit. When you accept
true.
that you want to make the change to do a new habit, it still takes time, repetition, consistency, all that stuff. But if a person slips up or whatever, I mean, and I guess situations related to something small, because we're talking about a toilet seat here. But like, so I don't feel like small things, like if you see someone is like having trouble doing something small, but they do a lot of other big things, I feel like as a partner, I mean, not a partner, a lot of people I know hate that word, as as a person, like in a relationship with a person, I feel like you should at some point be able to see when they truly are just like, struggling to adapt to a behavior, and the difference between them struggling to adapt and them just, of course, blatantly not listening to you. And I don't think that it's usually that the person is just choosing not to choosing not to cooperate or whatever. It's literally just that they haven't adapted to the new behavior
Right.
that you want them to.
Such a good point, Huge.
That comes with understanding. You know what
That's
I'm
such a
saying?
good
That's all
point.
it is. That's what I'm trying to say. The importance
But
of
we have to
understanding.
understand, though, communication is not just through linguistics. It's not just through language.
Hmm.
Communication
Right.
is by actions. Communication is
Actions.
by everything that you do in your everyday life.
Yeah.
Communication goes in
Well.
a multitude of different ways. So we're
Hmm.
having to read and acknowledge, and like Huge was saying, sometimes you just have to accept that somebody is a certain way and acknowledge that.
Exactly.
That's
Flaws.
look,
Call it
that's
flaws,
fact.
man.
You've got to. So number one is you got to understand what it takes for a person to change with their minds, right? There's
Hmm.
a pattern that I mean, and I'm sure Lovely's familiar with this, right? I talk about this all the time when I'm doing life coaching and business sessions, right? Thought, action, habit, character, destiny. When you meet somebody, however they are, wherever they've arrived to in their life, in order for them to change, they got to go back and change the core thing, which is the thought, right? Whatever
Hmm.
thought you embrace becomes your actions. Whatever actions repeated becomes your habits. Whatever habits you have developed manifest your character, and your character always leads to a certain disposition or destiny. So when we meet people and we see that where they are now is not where we want them to be, we can't just tell them something and expect it to change, the action to change. We have to get to the thought, right? Which goes to my favorite quote, Oliver Wendell Holmes. One's mind, once stretched by a new idea, will never regain its original dimensions. So, if you want me to change something, you're going to have to give me a thought other than what I've had before that's going to make me want to change my actions. What we do is we want people to be compliant with us, right? I don't
Mm.
like it, change it. And that's not
Mm.
sufficient enough for somebody to change it for the right reasons. They're changing it for the wrong reasons. You
But
know what? I'm
your
changing to make
reasons.
you happy. Guess what the bad news is? The minute you make me unhappy, I'm taking that shit back from you. I'm going back to my old habits. So, as emotions can make us inconsistent, we can be inconsistent in our ways of dealing with our partner, spouse, committed relationship, whatever you want to call it, because we never got to the point of asking one magic question. When you do this, why do you do it? I'm going to choose to accept that. I'm going to try to figure out how to help you get a new thought and change your perspective. If you could change your partner's perspective on things without using emotional leverage, there's a high probability that action will change. Repeated action becomes a new habit. I'm telling you that because that's why I put the toilet seat down now. I
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to embrace your thoughts comfortably and accept it so I can change my actions. And not because you keep repeating yourself.
And that's
Right.
absolutely valid. I agree 100%. And I think that that is a great guide for dealing with your partner if you're dealing with a man. But literally, you can just tell me as your partner, babe, I don't like that. And the fact that you don't like it, we often enough will change it. And I think that is the misconception. We are trying to deal with you because we know that all you have to do is tell me you don't like it, and I will
Right.
change it.
And that's
That
the
Sit on
beauty
sounds
it.
of a,
very easy.
Right,
that's the beauty of a
right,
Very
woman.
right.
Women are
easy.
natural nurturers, right? We're nature,
Yes.
women are nurturers. So you could tell a woman something, and because women will, she'll take a bullet because she feels a certain way about you. Men got to rationalize that shit in his head. Like, what's going to happen? We got the insurance policy covered. I don't care how many men say stand up for it.
For real.
But women naturally gravitate towards the emotion, which is why women lead customer service. They're nurses. Emotions allow them to make the decision instantaneously to take care of somebody. Men have to have a plan. And that's how we're wired naturally. So when we start accepting that, relationships work easier. My wife is a freaking butterfly. You know why? She don't like time. She don't like boundaries. She don't like environment. So I have had to learn to let her float however she wants. And guess what? I made boundaries, legalities. I run a business. I'm structured. So you know what? Let me build a bigger sanctuary for the butterflies. How I work.
There you
We
go.
lift our
And I
hands in
bet you
the
she
sanctuary. Oh,
love you to death. We'll take a bullet for you because you create that space for her to live in that. That's
Right.
beautiful.
Right, right, right.
No argument there.
boy.
None.
I
Hope
wonder
she's
what
a she's a
relationship is
keeper.
perfect.
Hobo, I'm gonna pick on Hobo real quick.
Hey,
Hobo, you're
Well,
actually
we
what's
talked
called a
about
peahen.
perfection earlier. You can't go there, Kev.
it's perfect for the
Ain't
If
no
you do
perfect
people who are
this, you're
relationship.
enjoying
going
the
to do
journey.
this. Because I said do this, and you're going to eventually do this. And when I tell you to do this, you're going to do that. I'm going to do this when you do this too.
It's perfectly
That
imperfect.
the
Exactly.
part that I don't like is that people always think that expectation is to control them. And that's not necessarily true. If you got two
Right,
people working towards a
right.
common goal, you need expectations to get there. You need a plan to get there. You know what I'm saying? If
Mm-hmm.
you want to have a happy and healthy relationship, it's going to take both partners to do that. That means some of
Well,
what I want and some of what you want. So just because I have an ask doesn't mean I'm trying to control you. This ask could make us better,
you're right,
but that's
poet,
all in the
because
communication.
you're right, poet, because if you don't have expectations of something, how do you judge something? How do you know when to get
It
out of a really
goes,
bad relationship?
goes,
You know, if you
boundaries.
don't have expectations for another person or for yourself, then you're just stuck. You
I
have to
think
have
Philly just
them.
don't like the word
When it's up, then
expectation.
it's
He's trying to rename it to goals and boundaries when it could apply, but not always. Sometimes it's just an expectation. I expect to be treated with a certain level of common courtesy everywhere I go. Because I
and if
don't
it,
put off any energy to receive. I don't expect people to come up and slap me in my face in public. That's not an expectation of mine, right? And I don't expect people to do that. However, I'm not
Mhm.
open to anything that happens. That's what I'm saying. To say you don't expect nothing means you're open for everything. So why be surprised if somebody
I'm
slaps you in the
open.
face? You
I'm
open for
open.
that?
I expect the unexpected. That's the most
Well, God
realistic thing
bless
you
you.
can expect.
God bless you. I don't. I'm not open to everything. I do have expectations because that's where I can create my boundaries. If I know I'm walking into a hostile environment, then I will remove myself. Sometimes you don't know until things
Yeah,
happen,
it's a
right?
boundary.
But I have to first set an expectation as to how I want to be
It's a
treated
boundary.
in any space if I'm going to manage it.
Let's call it a
Because we are the
boundary, though.
managers. We are the managers of that space, of the space that I'm in. I can't control everybody else in there. I can only control me.
Yes.
Okay, so then we know that one of your boundaries is that you don't like men who pee on the
Boundary.
toilet seat and leave it up. Right.
Yes.
That's one of your boundaries.
No, it's not a boundary. That's an expectation. Because I
No,
think
that.
that people are grown. That's just an expectation. It doesn't have anything to do with him being with me.
So what happened if they don't
If
do
I
it?
go to a grown man's house that I'm not with and he's peed on the seat, I'm going to be disappointed because you're grown. It has nothing to do with being in a relationship with me.
Okay, and so
I
So do
expect
you
grown people
expect
to act like
somebody to be a certain level of smart because of their age?
no.
Okay. We getting
Because
somewhere.
even my version of smart, like what I think is smart, may not be what
Hmm.
is understood to be smart. So that wouldn't apply.
Okay.
oh, So how do we even get to this whole major discussion about the toilet seat
I don't
if
know.
that's
because
like not a
because
major thing for you?
Because oh me?
because the
Oh, Lovely brought up the scenario. I just came on the platform
Right, and
to join the
we were all
conversation.
saying that
the
it wasn't a big deal, and you had kind of said, "Oh well, you didn't want your partner to do that because you felt like that was
that's what a man's supposed to
unreasonable or
do.
something."
Well,
A
it was
man is
just a
supposed to be
scenario
able to
Let a
know
let,
to
in my
after I talk to
personal life.
him
let's say what a
what
woman's supposed to do. We gonna
now.
get banned.
Not really. In my personal life, I've never had that problem with a partner. Never. That's never
Yeah,
been an
I'm not.
issue.
Yeah. I don't like speaking personal life, anyways. But oh my gosh, Corey.
But I
Yes.
was just contributing to the conversation. That's it. It wasn't my issue at all, ever.
It
Lovely
was.
brought
I
it
don't.
up.
I don't think it was an issue, a major issue. We brought up an example, a common example. Corey did. Every guy's heard, or your friend has said his wife or his girlfriend or significant other has done it. So it was just an example to usher in a dialogue about things that frustrate the happiness
So,
between couples. So it
so
wasn't nothing specific to
It wasn't.
anybody. It was just kind of like, hey, let's give a simple example that kind of personifies what we're talking about. Because sometimes we talk in theory and hypotheticals, and everybody has their own views of it and don't know how to apply it in real time. So I think Corey brought an example so we can say, okay, oh, I've heard that before. I've experienced that. And it generated a dialogue between everybody that was actually fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, I had a good time.
so I got a question now.
Was.
This was my whole
So
point
then
right here.
we
I
all
told you I will
agree.
never look at a toilet seat the same way
Right. I was
Yeah,
ever.
about to say because I feel
yeah.
like we
Awareness.
all agree that that is not something important enough to talk about on a frequent basis.
No,
If
Yeah.
I start a company, and I build a business about relationships, the logo is going to be a toilet seat.
only some people gonna get it.
So
Everybody else gonna be like, "What?" Because
I
it's
so
not.
this
agree.
It's
this was
common,
my
but it's
whole
not
point.
normally stretched as far as we stretched it today. It's not normally that important. Again, the bottom line is courtesy. Th- That is usually the bottom line. The
It
toilet
is
Right.
seat
not the
being
principle. It is not about the principle. It is not. That is
the
not supposed
Right.
to be
toilet
about
seat
the
being left
principle.
up. It goes along with the towel on the floor. You leaving your shoes by the door. This is probably
Right.
the same man that we're talking about.
Expectations, and that's
Really,
bound to
what it
happen.
and that's
But
what
this
it
is
led
why.
into, the idea of expectations and the
It,
idea of how couples communicate when there even is something so petty that can lead to
right.
Again,
something
it's
so
not
Look,
big.
petty if it's an issue
because
of
we don't put the
courtesy.
toilet seat down don't mean we
Let me
don't
get
love
next
y'all.
at the king, man, because I'm trying, man. I'm trying my best, and everybody juggling, bro.
I apologize. My bad.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. I'm next. I'm just
But
calling it
look,
out
I
loud
just
so
tell
I can
all the
let
women,
y'all know
look,
I'm next.
because no can put the seat down does not mean he don't love you and respect you, ladies. Just know that
I agree.
he's
They
coming from
take
a
it.
genuine place. He's trying to break old habits, and some habits take longer to break than others. Some people can go cold turkey, some people need processes, but we love y'all. That's why we're still gonna stick by your side when you're having a bad day. So don't take it personal. I think that's the issue is we take everything personal today versus saying that's irrelevant, that's not
Jump.
conducive to a good relationship or balance and peace. I'm gonna let that go. But just know that us men, we don't walk in the bathroom and leave out there, ha ha. I'm gonna need the toilet seat up. Watch how she act now. That's not what we do.
Right.
Unless she nagging
Okay,
too
can
much.
somebody
It's like no,
please load Michael
but
Jackson "Beat It" for me, please?
uh, uh, so this was my whole point of saying this though, because my thing is, and that's why I said like, dog, why they act like why is it that expected? Which I get, they say it's a moral thing they made, or whatever I'm saying. But I'm like, if a whole human, right, a whole grown adult, let's go back and use that again, they don't know how to put a toilet seat down for themselves. I just didn't understand that though. And this the other thing, this the main thing I was getting to is that if you keep sitting down and pee, whose fault is that?
Yeah, if you still on the
Anybody?
toilet seat,
It'll be my fault.
Huh?
you still on the toilet seat.
Yes, yes. I wanted. That was
Literally
my
or
main thing I was trying to get
figuratively?
to
That
about that before it
Please
went
that's
It'll be
left.
my
actually a
fault if
really
I
good
don't put the
point,
seat
Kev.
down.
That's
Here,
actually a really good
Your
point because
are
fault.
we staying on the
when
toilet
you
It'll
seat
be
go
or
my
into a
fault if
up
I
and
don't
sitting?
turn around and put the seat down. Yes.
Mm.
yes, yeah, because
Okay.
when us as women, if you ever go into a public restroom, and
Oh,
you know when you go in the morning when all the rest,
Oh,
well,
their
I
hands
work at a
work then.
university, and they're all clean. The toilet lids are actually already up. So what do?
Ooh.
You put it
I need a man to
down.
put this down.
I always
Oh,
Where's the man
my
to
God.
put this down? I can't
Women have
touch
been
the
leaving
sheet.
covers up.
What?
I ain't gonna hold you. I got a controversial answer on that question you just asked. I do. But yeah, so that question that you asked about if it's so this is the question you asked is between a man and a woman.
What was the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Catch
The
yourself.
the question
Oh,
was
I see you
if
about to mix it up now.
the question was whose fault is it that you sitting in the pee. Okay, so
Right.
existentially it's the man's fault, right? But then it's the woman's fault for not being mindful enough to see that the pee was there. But
Right.
if he had never put the pee there, it wouldn't have been there to sit in.
Right.
And
But you
look,
was
I like
ignoring
that.
my
You know why?
conversation.
Because it
Right.
introduces the two concepts of people, right? You either are
Mm-hmm.
walking in, and it doesn't matter if it's about a relationship or individuality. You're walking in a victim mindset or a victor's mindset. And when you
Ooh.
expect other people to appease you so that you don't make the mistake that you could have prevented, you are in a victim mindset.
Go
You have to
team.
walk a victor's mindset, looks for opportunities to win every time. So we look at everything and we take accountability for the outcomes. When you don't
Mm.
take accountability for the outcomes, you are in a victim mindset. And that is a trending thing for a lot of people. It doesn't extend into just their personal relationship. It goes on to their jobs. It goes into their friendship. It goes to their family. And you can find a pattern of expectations, which leads to the word you used earlier, Kev, which is entitlement. Entitlement people
Hmm.
usually have a victim's mindset.
Right.
Yes. And I
Well,
got another one though. Okay, let's say this.
entitlement,
Not let's say what
I will
about
admit
public
to.
bathroom, right? Whose fault is I'm about to
Entitlement,
get to the deep of this. I don't care how we use this thing. Whose fault it is that you sat in some pee? Or you
it would be
sat on
your
the
fault.
open
It's a public
toilet because you ain't
bathroom. You cannot expect things in a public bathroom. That's where expectation comes in. I cannot expect the people in public bathroom to be like the people in my home. There's a difference.
because you
I
You
will
better
choose
write
admit
not
those
to.
to.
brothers down.
But what about
I
them
will.
being grown
Kev,
adults?
what argument are you making here? You keep switching sides. You say no expectations, and I say no expectations in public, but expectations at home. Okay, I will admit to entitlement in my relationship. I don't think there's anything wrong with that on both sides.
Ooh.
You should
Oh,
be
that's
entitled in your own relationship.
oh
Now, you should
my.
also be reasonable, and that's going to be decided between you and your partner. Some may think it's
Wow.
unreasonable for women not to touch door handles. There are some women who claim that they don't touch door handles ever since they've been together. It just depends
Okay.
on what
So what's
those
the
two people
limit to the
decide.
entitlement in a relationship though? Because you could tell a partner that you can expect all type of stuff from your partner. Like, what is the limit?
Oh, but Kev,
Whatever
let me
that
help you with
partner
that one.
deems reasonable.
I
That's
love
the limit.
still, I love Still a Poet's. I love her dialogue. I just love it. It makes you reason
I
and think, right?
appreciate you.
So watch
Right.
this. You either entered into a relationship with a contractual mindset or a commitment mindset. Those are two different things. Contractual mindsets means that I'm going to nitpick every little thing you don't do that I expect you to do. Commitment
Mm.
says, hey, this is something that I don't like, but we can work through it. I'm not going to bother about it. We hopefully will adjust over a period of
I
time.
like that. I
But
like
when
that.
you go in there with a checklist and you're nitpicking, now we're moving to the nagging zone. You didn't do
Preach.
this right. Like if I come home and say, baby, you didn't clean the baseboards today. Why is the air filter not changed out? Why the meal not hot? I am nagging my wife. We don't usually use the word nagging with men, but men nag their wives sometimes, right? The reality is,
What?
what is the priority? And Kev, you went there and you left it too soon. Does this conversation benefit us or does it benefit me?
Mm.
But here's the thing: if that expectation was born in another relationship,
That
right?
okay? Now you on a hot topic right there. I
No,
let.
no, no, no. Wait, I'm
Mhm.
just saying this, right? That was not my expectation. That was the guy I was with expectation in the
Right.
beginning. Babe, I want you to touch no doorknobs. I will open all the doors for you, right?
Hmm.
It
Well,
is up to me.
it's not even about the expectation too. It's about
Lord, thank ya.
it's
It's like
it's about it's about the need behind that expectation. What is the need?
hmm,
What
I'm
is
gonna get
Hold
needed
some
from
of
me?
on.
this.
Okay. The expectation was created, right? Maybe now moving
Hmm.
forward, I still don't want to touch doors. So now I tell my next guy, I don't like touching doors. He would have to agree to that. If he agrees, I'm not saying he has to, but if he agrees to it, it's not nagging if I remind him. But it doesn't matter. You're talking about contractual or not. It was never my expectation. It's just something that now I'm used to, right? Now I'm
Right.
moving forward. Now this is a negotiable for me, right? That means that
So
now,
so
Thank God.
you move
now we
right
can
into what I said earlier. Thought, action,
okay.
habit. You now have a habit which now that's part of your character.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you're
Okay,
at.
I'm
So
sorry.
when you match up with
So
somebody, you got to review your character and your desires before you even commit to even a consistent relationship. What happens is what you just said. Sometimes we masquerade. We say, we set these expectations as beyond our ability to maintenance it, and then that messes people up. So here's the bad news: we walk into the next relationship with expectations that's built on trauma.
Mm.
So
but is it a trauma that I want the doors open now?
whenever our expectations are not balanced and we engage the relationship, that's a traumatic experience. When we're not in trauma, we allow ourselves to adjust without frustration, and we also ask the necessary questions without judgment. But whenever we have judgment and frustration based on expectations, that's usually a sign of some form of trauma that we've experienced. So somebody made me think this way versus I've evolved into this because it's really what I desire in life. I had to assess that in my relationships. Do I want this because of what I've been through, or do I want this because of where I'm going?
So that's what
And
I'm
a
Right,
lot,
saying.
because
Now
when
in
you
my new
continue to do
relationship.
that, you know what it does is it makes somebody feel like they're not good enough
that's that right.
So
because
That's
they
now
the
in
can't
my
meet
new
your
relationship.
expectations.
Mm.
So now in my new relationship, I have to prioritize how important this is to me, right?
that's what
If
I'm
I'm
talking
going
about.
to carry this to my partner. And if my partner does not agree, I have to say to myself, is this worth walking away? And
Right.
personally, no, it's not. But that is, you're right. That is how that goes.
See, I knew I like you for a reason.
Absolutely. Been following
You
you for
could
a
have a
long
healthy.
time.
See, I just gotta acknowledge because we don't do enough of that on TikTok.
Right.
She's doing what I'm doing. She has her set way. It's open minded, but I can show you the other side and
Yes.
perspectives to combat that, so you can understand how people genuinely think. I just got to point that out real quick when I meet other people that are like minded in the debate realm, because some people don't. They call it debate, but they're arguing. We're actually debating by
Right.
bringing in other people's perspectives and experiences, but realize we've come to this conclusion that this brings us the most amount of peace.
Right.
Mm.
And there's
Because
no
you have to
anger
know
and
why things
frustration or discord, you know?
because
Hmm.
you have to know why things are important to you. It's not good enough to say this is what I've always done, or this is what my ex did, or this is what I'm comfortable with. You have to figure out why. And once you
Right.
figure out why, then you can communicate that to your partner. What is so hard and so that brings on the thing that brings on the arguments is you can explain why you want what you want. And men are logical. So either they're going to agree or disagree. But if they don't understand, they're most undoubtedly going to disagree.
Right. Back to that understanding, you know?
Oh no, people don't know that word, right? Yeah.
Look,
You
me and my
can't have
wife had a
understanding
conversation.
without
Look, my wife
communication.
and I had a conversation, and I asked her. I said, "What do we know what women generally? I'm gonna say the word generally want from men, but do you know what women want from? We know what women want from men, but do you know what men want from women?" And we talked about that conversation. In the consensus, not saying there's not differences. Most women want somebody who could provide and protect. Right? If he can't provide and he can't protect, then most women are turned off to some degree. Does she want more than that? Absolutely. But the primaries are provide and protect. So then I said, what do men want? And my wife actually struggled trying to understand that. And I said, here's the caveat. We want the same thing. The difference is women value men who could provide and protect in the physical realm. Men want women that provide and protect in the emotional realm. We don't say that often enough so that women understand that. We need you to provide for us emotionally and protect for us emotionally. That means that you have to have a conscious awareness of what makes us hype and what makes us feel unwhole. And because when we don't
Mm.
feel good, you won't feel good. I have a
That's such a
philosophy in
good
my home.
that's
If
such
you
a good
provide me,
point, King.
if you ask me to be the leader, you gotta protect the head. When you see me off kilt, then
Well,
balance me out. And when as soon as I get balanced out, you taking care of automatically without asking. You ain't gotta ask me to put the toilet seat down. You gotta ask me to take out the trash. You gotta ask me to cook. But anytime I'm not on top of those things is because I'm not being provided for or protected in a way that I need it or a way that I've communicated it. So that's a red flag or an alarm system or alert. Or what are feelings? Only your alarms. It's not the reality. So now we pay attention to what we have not received in our basic core, and we work on that, and everything else normally falls in the plan the way it's
You
supposed to
just
go.
proved it to the point, to the T. Basically, women are giving men what they need in order to be able to give the women that they need, and vice versa.
Yeah, it's
I don't.
reciprocity.
I can't. It's a reciprocation to a marriage or a partnership or a relationship. It's about two individuals coming together, and it's interdependency. I can rely on you for this, and you can rely on me for this. We're interdependent.
Right. So watch what I just gave. I gave y'all free games. So women, the word courteous was thrown out there. Here's what we have to hear as men, right? Honey, I know it seems small to you, but it taxes on me emotionally. It may not mean a lot to you, but it drives me crazy. It brings me to anxiety when these things are not done. So if you want to help me balance my emotional seat, I would like you to give a little bit more attention to these areas and watch the difference in how I respond versus the commandments of put the toilet seat down,
It's gonna
take
feel
the
like a
trash
job
out,
after that.
open the door.
Hey, let me hurry up. Let me walk on these eggshells real quick.
I
This case,
agree for
it's
women.
hurting her
For
emotions.
women for women who understand that and who have those words. The problem is a lot of women out here struggle with expressing themselves and
Facts.
having those words and the understanding behind what you're saying. 9 times out of 10, when a woman is looking for protection, she's crying that she's not protected, it's probably because she's said or been in places she has no business and she wants the man to physically protect her. A man
Mm.
cannot protect behaviors that you should manage yourself. That's unreasonable
Facts.
to
Facts.
I have never had to ask a man to protect me. That has always come with the relationship. That is not something that has ever had to be
It's
explained.
expected.
But I'm also
That's a
not a
sign
woman.
you've communicated properly too.
Yeah, but I'm also not a woman who's in men's faces and arguing with men. Like Kev had a live the other day about people calling their boyfriend a husband and come save them on this app. You have a woman, you're gonna always be in trouble, right? You're gonna always have something to defend. But it's funny because only on TikTok have I seen some of these conversations. A lot of this stuff has just been given without request for me. It's not stuff that
Mm.
I've heard it had to bargain with ever.
Have you ever gotten in your man's face and called him bad names?
Whoa.
One time.
One time, right? But most of the time you don't, right? So the signs of a woman that men don't feel need to be protected is a woman that'll buck up to him.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about a man that's doing her wrong. I'm talking about she's just angry enough to present herself in the masculine energy. That's the woman that does not get the protection she needs when she needs it. Because it's like, well, shit, she can take care of her damn self because she stands up to me. Why she needs my protection? Part of a man's purpose, and notice I just threw all those pieces together, right? Is provide, protect, and then that purpose it equals purpose. Everybody needs a purpose in a relationship. When your purpose is not established clearly and is not fulfilled, people do not they're not able to manage those relationships properly. You've got to go into a relationship with somebody that you have a purpose in, and there's clear understandings of what your requirements are and how you define providing and protecting. Because when I say
Tic tac.
providing, don't go traditional. I'm not talking about just money. That's not always providing. Sometimes it's about listening in. When I met my wife, one thing we did, because I got enough experience to know, when she would talk, I said, I need to answer one thing before you get into your conversation. Do you need me to just listen or do you need me to give you advice? Whatever the answer is how I'm going to respond. Sometimes she needed me to listen. Sometimes she needed advice. I respected her boundaries, but she felt protected and provided for in one dialogue because we set those boundaries in the beginning.
Right. Studio.
And then try it out. It was a
Lord.
noise I would have made earlier. Hold
I
on, is this one?
surrender.
There you go.
And that leads
Takes practice.
it does. Okay.
Kevin, play the
Bro,
cricket sound.
Oh no, I got something better than
you
that.
ain't
Hold
doing nothing but blinking. Studio, leave me alone.
on.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Laugh or
Oh
Learn
my.
Kev's live in the evening time. We're tonight talking about the topic of if you are still waiting on this thing called true happiness, I got bad news. But nevertheless, we've migrated into relationships. So if you would like to hop on this live with Kev, go ahead and send your invite. Enjoy the rest of the
Hmm.
show.
I got 15 minutes with y'all anyways, man, until tomorrow. Till tomorrow. But yeah, man. Make my boy, yeah, I in the building. Uh-oh. Let me get him real quick.
My boy, yeah, alright. In the building. How you feeling, man?
I would, but I got to join a live in a little. Oh, okay. That's crazy. Everybody want to get quiet, but when I wanted to have a chance to talk, everybody bouncing words and questions around. Now we want to get quiet. Now everybody looking at me with the eyeball like, "What you about to do?" You know what I'm saying? That's messed up, man.
What you got on
How
this
y'all
stage?
gonna do me like that?
What did you conclude from this conversation?
What I got out of this?
Hmm.
What did I get out of this?
Y'all, that's what we started, y'all.
The lack of accountability, man. That's what I'm saying. All I know, if I keep, I'm gonna have to figure a way. I can't expect somebody to. Can I join in a minute? I can't expect. If I keep falling, it's up to me to get myself up. That's how I'm gonna put it that way. I'm just gonna put it that way, right? If I keep tripping, I gotta do it myself. I gotta pick myself up. But no. I guess it was a lot. We enjoying anyone another's anyone others silence. Right, it's real loud
Well,
in
I
here.
think everybody on this panel just proved. Am I echoing? Because I'm in the car right now. Am I
It
echoing?
should be good.
Be good.
Think everybody on this panel just proved to show what a good example of communication is.
Hmm. It kind of lagged. I think I heard you.
I think, there's so many people with similar mindsets, whether we agree or disagree, but there was no discord. There was just understanding to a level of everybody's perception is different. Everybody's ideologies of where they came from, what they were modeled. It's like you have to create, going back to happiness, you have to create your own idea of happiness. Because sometimes we don't know what happy, if even, I like what Corey said earlier, like not focusing on happiness, focusing more on the now, focusing more on your gratitude and more on being thankful for what you already
Achievements,
have
appreciation,
rather than figuring out. Yeah,
gratefulness.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what happiness is, man. When you start being more appreciative for the things they did and not looking at the stuff they didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Be appreciative. That's the reason why. And it's funny though. About this. This remind me of that live I did with the have more appreciation versus and less expectations and stuff. Because like once we build the mindset of appreciating just the, like I said, the little things, man, that's where, and we can tie that back into happiness. You know what I'm saying? That's where we really we yes, that's some, I can't say true happiness, but that's where a lot of happiness get put at, because a lot of people don't have to do what they got to do. They don't have to do it, right? So I'm just saying, just that in general, man. That's what be affecting us. That just affect us, anyways.
Kev, I think if we view it, when I came in, I looked at the topic, I was listening to everybody, and I refrained from commenting. And I was glad
Mm-hmm.
you came back to it at the end. Is that happiness? The reality is this: happiness is only an emotion, right? No emotion are you able to reside in for a long period of time. You got to visit every emotion to be whole and healthy in your emotional seat. Or the word I love using, I've been teaching companies on in the last month has been your emotional intelligence, right? Happiness you're going to visit. Now the problem is this: is there true happiness? To me, there is true happiness, because if there's not true happiness, then there's no true sadness, there's no true depression, there's no true anxiety. because happiness is actually just an emotion. It was not designed for you to reside in all day, every day. If somebody appears to be happy all the time, there's a sign that there's a problem most of the time. Happiness is to be experienced because it's only a passing emotion that you feel. You can feel happiness, you can feel sadness, you can feel excitement, you can feel enlightenment, you can feel all of that. They're only emotions, but the problem is we try to take a flowing emotion and make it a statue. We want it to live with us and be with us all the time, which taps into your other part of comment, which is expectations. Is there true happiness? In my opinion, yes. There's true sadness too. There's true depression, excitement. There's a lot of other emotions. But when we relegate emotions to only a few emotions and not look at the whole spectrum of it, that's when we mess ourselves up. That's when we have these unrealistic expectations of life. You know what happiness is to me, or joy, or a good state of mind, should I use that word? Is when I have happiness sometimes, sadness sometimes, anxiety sometimes, depression sometimes, but I don't spend too much time in any one of those states. I visit all of them. That's why when you see a rainbow in the sky, you love it because there's a bunch of different colors. If a rainbow popped up and it was one color, you'd be sad. Why that big red line keep showing up in the sky? You got to see a plethora. And when you embrace all emotions because you have emotional intelligence, you have a content life. Then you learn to manage it so you can regulate how long I visit those emotions. When we can't regulate how long we live in an emotion, that's when we become overwhelmed and we become discontent with life, period.
So I got a question for
Right.
you now. Hold up, real quick. Let me get him real quick. But before this, I gotta get AJ real quick. Hold on, let me check him real quick, y'all.
Welcome to the live. It's the latest of the late. AJ Littlehead is in the building. How you feeling, man? I miss you. I miss you, girl. I miss you. Sorry, no.
All right. So I'm gonna ask the same question because me myself, I don't, I don't know about I don't think me myself. I think the more I kept thinking about it, I just don't believe in this true happiness or not even true sadness, not true any of this stuff because I feel like every feeling is temporary, right? Because everything can change or whatever. So
So
I'm
because
gonna
it's
ask you, what's
temporary is
the
not true?
difference? Huh?
That's exactly what he
Because it's
just said.
temporary is not true?
Just say it again.
I say, so what you're saying, I'm just trying to make sure I'm going where you're going. So because something is temporary, that makes it not true?
Uh, I don't know. I was just heard trying to ask you real quick. That's why I said, what's the difference between true happiness and happiness? Well, I want to know what's the difference between that.
Okay,
And that's
so
what I
for me, my opinion is true happiness is the happiness that's come from a genuine place. If I have to pretend to be happy to make you happy, that is false happiness.
how about it's just not happiness?
That's facts.
How about
That's
you
right.
There
just
It's
you
take
not
go.
happiness.
Right.
the real off of it and just say happiness, joy, sadness, anger.
Peace.
Right.
That's a
They're all
Grief.
emotions.
misunderstanding. Either
Yeah.
it's
They're
happiness
all
or it's not,
emotions.
right?
We try to put an adjective on stuff that doesn't need an adjective.
Exactly.
I
That's what
was
I
just
was.
gonna
That's what
say
I was about to.
adjective.
That's what I was about to get to. Is
I was
like
just
what?
gonna say
I was
adjective.
just about to get to that. Right. I was just about to say that. Like, dog. This.
It's true
Exactly.
happiness. Well, what the
Because
hell is
it's.
false happiness? That's why I said that, right? If we got true happiness, it was true sadness. Why nobody say true sadness?
That's
That's
what I
straight.
want. That's what
They
I'm getting to. Right. That's what I'm getting to. Right. What is?
Because you wrote it.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you did
Well,
that. I'm
that's why I
glad.
brought up the word perfect. It reminded me of the word it's like perfect happiness, like true perfect happiness. It's like,
No,
what is that?
nothing is
adjective
perfect,
that
so
we
it's just
it's kind of like putting a profanity to excite your sentence. You just trying to make impact. It's true happiness. It's like it's
happiness.
happiness. Is that they'll compare to the happiness I had before. The other ones feel fake compared to this feeling. That's all it is. It ain't nothing that's real. It's just express. It's abstract happiness. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just happiness or not happiness.
Right, poet. It's just it is or it isn't.
It's not perfect happiness, true
Exactly.
happiness.
Right.
It's just
Right. Next
happiness
minute.
or
Right.
it's not.
Perfect happiness. What is perfect happiness? What is
Right.
perfect madness?
You can't put an
But
adjective. There's no such thing as putting an adjective on it.
Just
can't.
yes,
Exactly. Thank
exactly.
you. Now we
You put
getting somewhere.
if you put an adjective on an emotion, you put an emotion on top of an emotion.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Right. You is right. I never thought about that too either.
Well, and if
Perfect
you
True,
frustration.
Frustration.
and
Thank
if you
you.
think about
true
it, like
happiness.
happiness, are you defining it based upon what you believe happiness is, or what you believe somebody presents happiness to you as? So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
Happiness
have
is
to
how,
look at
how
simply
do
a
both
you decide?
parts.
How
pleasurable
do you decide
feeling.
what happiness is?
Right. It's all it is. It's a
Okay,
pleasurable feeling.
Personal preference.
Some
It's a
feelings feel a
pleasurable
little bit
feeling.
more intense than others, and that's all we can say.
right.
You are
Mm-hmm.
ever
So that was what
Keep it
like my whole
simple,
main thing.
lady.
But somebody's stuff is lagging back. I think that might be you,
it's
Lovely. You might have to
lovely.
drop and come back because I think I heard some and it just come back late. It's weird. It's
I'll
100%.
disconnect my Bluetooth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was okay. I got you. I got you. I got you. But I was just about to say the whole point of this, it wasn't even really just that. But even though I was throwing in there that I don't believe in just that part, anyways. But I was saying that, dang, everybody do come in when I got to get up. That's crazy. Hopefully y'all here tomorrow because I can get stay up all night because I got to get off in about 6 minutes. But the point of this topic was I was saying if you still waiting on it, because a lot of people saying they waiting on their true happiness, they waiting on all this stuff. They even say waiting on true love and all that stuff. But it's like if and that's why the reason why I put that ending part is like if you waiting on it, right? I got bad news for you. You will never find it, right? Because if you gotta wait on any of that, any of those, or mainly like happiness. I like how she kind of put that though, and even though what I'm saying, but I just say happiness without the truth. But if you waiting, you never. It's not just gonna come to you. It's something you have to figure out yourself, and you got to find that within yourself. That's my whole point. So it's like, and even say if a walk on the beach is your true happiness, that you made that your goal. Like this gonna be my true happiness. Even when you get there, right? You're basically saying that's your limit, right? That's your limit. Once you get that beach, then you be happy for that moment, then be bored after a couple days being there, right? After that, that means it can never match. It can
Well,
never match no more from that
yeah,
point.
to support what you say, I believe in this. This is my philosophy. I believe in happiness by design, right?
Hmm.
I have to cultivate the happiness I want. I got to tell myself how to feel, how I want to feel, and then protect it from people who don't want to agree with it. So I'm going to cultivate my own happiness. I'm not going to wait on you to make me happy because that's a victim mentality.
Thank you.
When you got a victim mentality, I always got somebody to blame for the way I feel.
Thank you. Where you been at, King? Where you been at, man?
I had to take a break, man. You know, I'm coming back though.
Let me hear this. All right, blow them up, man, a little bit. You know, pull, pull.
You are the master of your destiny.
Exactly. King
Yeah, gotta
Nuggets.
Right,
move from
King?
a gotta move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset for sure.
Midnight, you ain't fall asleep up there.
That
If
part.
you did fall
That
asleep, bring
part.
you. I hope you got your pillow. I haven't heard from him in a minute. I just thought about that. You, you woke, man, my brother?
He went night night.
He tried to put the baby to sleep. He was
Nah,
going to sleep.
midnight checking on that baby, man. They got that baby in there. So
He was asleep,
he trying to
right?
protect his peace, which is gonna feed into his happiness. I got a baby, guys.
He
Hobo,
running around with
Hobo
the
here.
baby. Oh, that's what. Okay. I thought he tried to put. He about to be
Trying,
asleep.
trying to make the baby tired, right, Hobo?
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah, he back. He's back. Just trying to make sure you alive. The little human in the building.
Yeah, she's not happy
So
right now.
adorable. Oh.
Ain't nobody told you to catch me.
Yeah, so no, I've been
Oh,
trying
she
to.
did. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been running around after her. She's been sick, so like, dude, I just went to get a tissue to blow her nose, and she like got mad at me, ripped the tissue out of my hand, ripped it in half, and then threw it on the ground. Little girl, first off, stop
And we
looking
gonna
at me.
blame that on. We gonna blame that on Lion.
You better
That's
get
where
that
she get that
suction.
from.
You
I was
better
gonna
get
say,
that suction that you're
All
sticking
the
that
hey,
good
don't
nose.
stuff
blame
came from
Hobo.
you. All the good stuff came from you, bro, my brother.
I wouldn't
Get
say
Hey,
get your nose
she was
freedom.
not happy in that moment. She was not happy in that moment.
What was that? True unhappiness? Say not.
that's a
okay, because her daddy gonna fix it.
Man. Right. That's an expectation, right? You know what I'm saying?
That's an
That's what
expectation. You better
my kids
believe it.
said that out loud one time. Don't worry about it, Daddy gonna fix
uh,
it. Their kids expect that.
Ain't nothing wrong
yeah.
with it.
Hey,
That's
That's what I'm
why.
saying. Don't demonize
That,
expectations. People
yes.
who don't have expectations are insecure. We don't want that. That's an
That's not
extreme.
true. That's backwards. I, but
hmm
I, but I really try to get people to I just want people to focus on more appreciation, and that's the reason why because the expectations do be leading to unhappiness. Majority of the time it does that because we be expecting stuff and it just don't, or disappointment, right? So that's why I be telling people to focus more on appreciating things because the stuff that we expecting is not expected, right? It's just
Not
like
always
that because that
good.
life, like, even though we want certain jobs or we want certain things, like unexpected that because I had a good resume, I'm gonna get this job, right? That don't mean it's gonna
hmm
exactly happen. So you gotta
It has to
appreciate it when you
eventually.
get it. That's why I be saying, telling people to be more appreciative on the things that you get. Or like I remember you was before I was even saying that a parent don't even have to be a parent, right? And I know you had something about that too, but I was like, I look at it this way because there's a lot of people that left their kids and all that stuff. So it's like it's a blessing that still have your parents to parent you. You know what I'm saying? Because we be putting expectations on stuff, but it don't work in our way, and that's why that's why you got to be thankful for every little thing that happens.
But you
It's
have
And
rather
to have
being
both.
expecting something to
every
happen.
emotion,
That
You
yeah,
part,
have to
Kev.
have both
every emotion
Go,
expectation
go.
go ahead,
Sorry,
Ken.
young
and
lady.
gratefulness. You have to have both, right? It's illogical to think that people don't have expectations. I expect parents to take care of their children. I don't care if they do or they don't. The expectation is
Right,
still there. It will
Right.
always be there. But I am grateful for those who do. So you have to have both. No one is more important than the other, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And with
But
the
what I'm
challenge is
meaning
this,
is
right?
some people expectations overrule their appreciation. That'd be the problem, right? And that's because if we was to say it that way, right? You said have them both, right? Why do people get disappointed so bad and get mad then if that's the
Well, look,
case?
Because their
I'm gonna tell you why,
expectations
Kev.
are
So this
unreasonable.
is this is
I
something
was
that I
gonna
have
speak
in
on
my
that.
book, right? I got a chapter in my book that says everything is grief. And that's about change because expectations not met requires you to
Yeah.
change. So when
Mm-hmm.
people have to change the first step, they go through DAPTA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Denial. I can't believe they did that and didn't do what I said. Then it's anger. It's that frustrating moment. Then it's bargaining. They try to reason in their head. Then it goes depression. I don't want
Bartering.
to do it. And then it's acceptance. So every bit of change is grief. So when expectations are not met, then we got to change what we do. And that's what most people don't like change. You ask a person, do you like
Right.
change? And they say no. Guarantee when you don't meet their expectations, they're not a happy camper.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that
I,
makes sense. You're right
and
about
King,
that.
that's exactly what I was gonna speak on. When expectations are not met by that's you, what are you gonna do with it? How long are you gonna let it linger and let it manifest
That's
and
right.
let it hold on to
Right.
you before
Expectation
you
cool
do
until it's on
something
you.
with it?
When it's on
And
yourself, it's
everybody,
like, oh
and
dang.
watch this. Everybody agrees differently and for a different length of time.
My boy Kendrick Lamar
Exactly.
said it. I
If
grieve
you are
different.
disappointed, it is
Grief
about
is
it is
powerful though
best.
too. Not only do we grieve other people or do we grieve the loss of what other people do to us or the loss of others, we also grieve ourselves. We grieve the
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
fact that we messed up or we
Yep.
grieve the
That's
It
fact
right.
is
that
in our
we
best
actually
interest
lost ourselves in a moment or we didn't meet our own expectations. We grieve ourselves too.
That's
when we
exactly
are
why.
Oh, y'all
disappointed.
Lovely.
making this
That's why
too
that's a
good. I might
chapter in
do
my
another
book
30
where I
minutes
say
for
that
y'all, man.
all grief,
Dang.
everything is grief. Change is grief.
Why y'all doing
Change
this
is
to
grief.
me?
When we are disappointed, we have to reevaluate, right? We have to
Yes.
make sure our expectations
I
are reasonable, right? That's what's going to help us move forward. Just the
Yep.
disappointment itself is
yes, poet.
is only a
Yes.
part of it, right?
But like
Because
grief, some people get stuck in one phase of it.
So
They get stuck in denial. They don't
and
want
it's
to
okay.
change. I'm trying
if
to
The
hold
grief,
on to this.
I'm about to
the
make an expectation
Hey,
for y'all real
even if
quick.
your expectation is unreasonable, it may
you
still
know what the
cause you
last
grief. But
the
moving
last
forward,
form of
it's
grief. Oh, go
important
ahead.
to
Sorry.
understand why we expect what we expect and whom we are expecting them from,
Oh
Do
yeah.
right?
you I got
You
one
have
for
to
you. Do
be
you
careful.
trust your own
Yes.
expectations?
Do I
Yeah,
what?
exactly. Well, do you know what the last form of grief is acceptance. It's
Yep.
acceptance. Once you
Yep.
accept it, sometimes you have to accept the bad and you have to accept the good. It's
Hello.
Oh,
acceptance.
if it's worth accepting.
Mm-hmm.
So I got
If
an
you if
expectation
it's
for y'all,
possible,
or not even expectation. If y'all give me the 30 real quick likes, them likes, tap
Oh,
the
let's
fingers
press.
real
Let's
quick, I
press.
might stay at 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I might do that though.
I agree with
It's
your
getting juicy.
expectations, Kev. I'm tapping right now.
Yes, yes, yes. Expectation. Please don't
right?
disappoint me
That's not
because I don't
unreasonable.
want to be disappointed off my expectations. But
But
I
you know what,
Well,
appreciate
it's
Kev?
it.
not
You know what I'm
This is a
saying? I
great
unreasonable.
live.
appreciate it if we don't get there. You know what I'm saying?
This is a great live, so expect this hat.
He's like, no, thank you,
There
man.
you go.
I can't wait till I get
That's
some
not
money, bro. It's a wrap. I might have to catch them on. Dog, why your stuff don't pop up? Your stuff don't pop up on my stuff.
I was gonna
Because I
say
think I
that's
swear
not
I
I
don't know.
seen
We
your
started.
stuff
Yeah, we've
on.
been on for the last 3 days. We've been popping up lately. We back
You
in
know what?
action.
Hold on, let me see something real quick.
Yeah,
Let me
they're
see
back.
something.
They're back in
'Cause I usually
action.
can watch you when I'm in the bathroom at my job. That's the only time I
Yeah,
can watch for at least five minutes. 'Cause y'all be on a different whole time from me. Well, y'all be
yeah. We've
on
been
when I'm
hitting
at work.
we've been hitting some evening times to let people know we back, and then we're gonna
Okay.
migrate back into the morning time. But we doing it random right now because we know that the people that was following us were in. They were all available at different times, so we're just popping up
be all
sporadically
over the place.
on the last couple of days, so people know that we gonna about to come back on a regular schedule soon.
Mm-hmm.
I was so
I
glad to
get,
see you guys back because you spread a lot of that knowledge.
damn
We
you
you
on.
were very missed.
We love being missed. We like that. So that like that was good. So we're like, okay, let's go back and I assess. I do branding and marketing, so I assess is there anything out there that's doing what we're doing, and I look in a lot of lies and it's not. So like, okay, let's go ahead and take our throne and make sure that people, and we got a lot of compliments from people saying that they've applied what we taught and their whole business have gotten better. They've made better money. They're more at peace. So we know we have a purpose. So we coming back to doing that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we almost there. We almost there now. We almost there now. Oops.
Keep going. Hey, I did hear one thing about the algorithm, and maybe AJ would know better. But the people on the panel are not supposed to hit the
Where
likes.
did AJ go? She left that fast?
Is AJ
Oh,
still here? I heard.
She done
I
dipped
heard
in
that.
and out
I
like
don't
a
know. I
couple
don't know
times.
if that's true. But I heard that it messes with the algorithm if the people in the panel are hitting the like buttons.
And lovely,
I
let
ain't
me
worried
let me
about that.
confirm what
I
you
done
just
heard it so
said.
many
I
times.
Okay,
just
good.
pressed this
I was
button
just
about
making sure.
500 times and it didn't register. So they've got an algorithm set now. Well, I don't think it's even counting the likes that we're hitting because we're in the panel.
Right.
Mm.
What I've heard.
But I'm
that's
looking at
decent.
the numbers and the numbers didn't move as many
Me
times as I
too.
hit.
Yeah, me too.
Why they gotta make it so complicated? Like,
It
I
create
bet you
it,
I can
what it
make
does.
that
It
move,
creates an
that number
organic.
move fast.
It makes it more
There's so
organic. Is
many
what it's doing.
myths. There's so many myths, man. I don't know what.
Look, I'm gonna give you. Look, I do marketing for a living with digital marketing. I'm gonna give you the facts. I'm gonna tell because that's what I spend all my time is researching and learning. But there's a lot of cheats that you got on TikTok, and that now the key is those cheats affect their bottom line numbers and financially. So what they do is they're gonna remove anything that can manipulate the numbers. So if you're in the live, they're knowing that you're moving the algorithm because of people in the live, so they're gonna remove that because that turns into your dollar signs,
Mm.
Right. None of
and
these
it's gonna get
systems are
more
made for you to
intense.
win.
It's gonna get more intense because the servers that are managing the TikTok are in the process of being moved to the United States, and there's a heavier regulation on social media management in the United States versus China. So it's gonna get worse before it's gonna get better.
Mm. Gems.
that's why a lot of people are moving to different platforms, like the podcast that I'm trying to create, and then a lot of people are going to either Discord or YouTube or all these other platforms that are not so regulated like this.
They all
Uh,
head in the same
so
direction
TikTok
though.
US, TikTok US actually has servers that are managed by Oracle, and they're here in Texas. And so they're their
Hmm.
own private servers that are completely separate from the ones that are in China.
That was a recent move on legislation. I watched that whole trial.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of it too.
I need that server that's in Africa where Kabi is at. That boy got so many followers. I think he's the top guy right now.
But they're on a
But then
different
again, I
band.
gotta.
They're on a different bandwidth. You realize each country has ability to let you see and not see what you want. And so that's like there's
Mm.
people in China probably got so much following, but you can't see them and they can't
Oh yeah,
see us because there's
right.
blocks on that bandwidth
They
for
probably
there.
they probably don't know what twerking booties is over there. You know what I'm saying?
No,
What is that, buddy?
yeah, their
What
countries want
is
to allow.
that? Those
Like you
cheeks
think
are
our filters
cheeking.
are bad? Yeah, you think our filters are bad? The filters are based on what your government status is, right? In communist and socialist environments, they can't do half of this. They won't allow it to happen. So
Hmm.
they're not gonna get that same feed because of the country stat. In America, we're the land of the free, so we get all kind of random BS.
I don't talk about most world news. Oh, you about to dip because you don't talk about most? What the heck? All right.
Not everybody does. Not everybody goes into the depths of, what's going on with that, and that must
Yeah,
be an expectation she has for herself, you know.
yeah,
Agree.
and that's
Gotta
cool.
respect it.
I do international business, so I
Exactly.
got to know what's going on around us and how it impacts us in the local area, so I can make good
Hmm.
decisions for the future and longevity.
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah,
one
I'm
and
just
only. I
saying
seen him
bacon, so
last
I
night.
don't
What's
even
the
know what he's
deal,
talking about no
man?
more because everybody's
Made it
economy
to.
affects ours.
Hey, Nino.
Oh, let me hit him up too, man. I just met him. Hold on, let me see. Hold up.
What
Nino's
is the
cool.
deal? One and only Nino is in the building, man. I forgot he's part of the famo too. I think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I remember him from last night. I didn't know he was part of the family. Why y'all ain't tell me about it, man?
I didn't know. I didn't know Nino was. I didn't even know he was in your
Yeah, he be
live
in
before. But
Miss Met's live and stuff a
yeah,
lot. You
well,
know what I'm
and you
saying?
came in. You came in Miss Smith's Bible study last night. We
I
was
came in there
all on.
yesterday for a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
for a
you
couple
did.
seconds and
I
stuff.
seen you.
Yeah, I had to
And that's
check
the
on her.
thing,
I ain't seen her in a minute.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I
we
ain't seen
just it's talking about real life. You can apply the Bible, but man, everything that's going on today in society and the world news, everything that's going on is still discussed. It's just history
her. Yeah,
repeating
most
itself.
definitely, most definitely. But that's why I like all of us like kind of split apart because Kana got her stuff, which I came from her, right? That's where we all met each other in a way though.
Hmm.
And then I split off. I talk more about accountability and solution based type stuff or whatever.
Right,
Um, I see Miss Met do the Bible study stuff. Um, that's what's sweet though. Everybody got their own thing, but we all got like the same common goal. It's like we all trying to,
right.
bring one another with each other, help each other out and stuff. It ain't just always about the toxicness and let me see, it ain't all about that stuff, man. So that's
Mm-mm.
cool though.
No, but I had to go through the toxicity of different lives and
Yeah.
go through the chaos in order to understand I needed to be grounded.
Oh, I
You
did that
know.
twice, a couple times. I realized some groups I just can't mess with. Some groups, y'all know when I
Yeah,
say when
some
I
of
put the
them I
fingers
was
like
like,
that,
why
some
was I
groups,
here?
they do not know what logic mean over there. I'm good. I
I
done got
agree.
cussed
I
out. I
agree,
done
Kev.
lost my character and everything. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave that alone. Logic don't work
Uh-huh.
everywhere. It don't work everywhere.
Well, and if
Man,
you look at it, even the people that we follow, yeah, Kanal's getting big. Even like I still go
I
into
love it.
Guru's live. I still,
Yeah,
getting big and stuff. But even your lives they're still kind of small. Miss Met's lives are still kind of small, but they're gravitating. Sometimes you got to build slow. You can't be
yeah,
impatient when it
yeah.
comes to really.
I mean, I can
Uh,
make it big if I
you
wanted to, because I can
can,
talk
you
about that
could.
controversial stuff, but nah, I choose not to. I just, I mean, shoot, all you gotta talk about is man and woman nowadays. It's over already. You done got your room at 500. That's the easiest thing to talk about. But I'm good on that though.
Right. I know.
That's
I'm
what
I
I
was
good.
talked
in a
about
live
in my
earlier, and
live
I was
today.
like, "How do you?" Oh, go ahead. Sorry about that.
I said that's what I talked about in my live. Even though I get like 2 or 3 people in there, and I say I'm gonna keep coming back every day, every day.
Yes,
I don't care how
ma'am.
small my live is, I'm gonna keep coming back.
Mm-hmm. Well, what you talk about? You say you talk about them. What you talk about?
For me,
You say you talk about what in your life?
no, I talk about. She's talking about the your life is kind of small, and
Oh,
I'm saying that
yeah.
I said that same thing in mine. That I was gonna keep coming back until I
Mm-hmm.
built up and built up.
Yeah, right,
Yes.
exactly. See, that's what, and
Yeah,
that's the thing though, because my stuff and my jump kind of vary because sometimes my stuff can go up. I think the highest I ever did was like 200 or something like
yeah,
400 people, but it was because of the topic, right? Because like I said, I talk about everything, like all the stuff that people don't want to talk about, the stuff that that I know hurt. You know what I'm saying? I talk about all that stuff, but it's just about how you talk about it and stuff. So it's like
Yep.
them one topics, like if I and somehow I end up talking about men and women or something like that, that always get brought up some way because the world's full of men and women. So of course that's going to get talked about, right? So that's when you see the numbers like boom, okay, what are you talking about now? You know what I'm saying? They do not like that topic, and that's where it's at. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's where they
It's
get
the
big
topic
at.
and the time, bro.
You know,
Topic and the time is the key. There's a certain topic at a
right.
certain time of day that draws in the audience. That's like for us,
yeah.
most people are geared for talking about business in the morning. That's why we were doing our stuff in the mornings. When I get on in the evening, I shift the dialogue a little bit. I want to be business, but not too business because people are not
Mm-hmm.
geared for it. They got off of work, they don't want to hear shit about no business. But in the morning, they're
So
geared
man,
for
your
it. So
business.
Exactly.
Oh man.
That's so true. You have to really decide like when you're gonna go live, what your content is. People pay attention to content, but I've been in these boxes and no, all my content has nothing to do with the lives that I'm in. None of my
yeah,
videos.
Mm-hmm.
right. Because I get
None of my
asked,
videos. I
I'm
have my
being I'm
dog
being
and me.
requested. I'm being
None.
requested to do a matchmaking live. I've been asked to do that.
Oh my.
They want me to do that, and
Oh
I
my
got to
gosh. I
schedule it.
saw one today,
Hey, here go
King.
King.
Baby, who gon' come up now with the sexy?
Hey, they want me to do it. It's being requested, so I'm gonna do it in the
That's the new
evening time.
popular thing that's going on though. I've been seeing
Right.
that a lot on my For You page, which is weird. All the single people, come on,
Yeah.
tap that button, tap it. Thank you for the gift. Oh, call him. She looks sexy right there. Go ahead. I've been seeing that like crazy.
Yeah.
Which
I
one you
got.
think? Which one worse though? The AMSRs or that?
Oh, you gonna make some noises on there?
Right. Yes.
Hey, I think women get away with that more than men. I think dudes do that. They might
They gonna be creeped out.
They
You
a
gonna have a
pervert. They gonna
negative
report you. They
follows.
gonna be reporting you to TikTok. They're like, get this freaky mother off of here.
Right. They gonna throw him in a box somewhere. What the heck?
Hey,
You a guest now.
I ran across a live today. I didn't even hit on the watch now, but it said sugar mamas for sugar daddies, and I was like, wait a minute. They're like, I was like, what live is this? I didn't even go into it because I didn't even want to acknowledge it.
Oh
But I'm
my
like, what are
goodness.
they doing? It was sugar daddies in need of sugar mamas, and it was like a dating site. But
Yeah,
it was
let's
only,
do it.
how when you scroll through the lives and you can hit watch now, you can hear the live, but you're not in the live.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing. I was like, don't even do it, Liz. Don't even do it.
Hey, I'm
I
about to
was
do it.
like, I don't even want to
I'm about to
entertain
make.
that.
I'm about to make another profile. I'm gonna do a after dark profile, and it's gonna be
Uh
no
oh.
faces. I'm gonna just get on there, and you're gonna hear, "Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing tonight? Y'all ready
You
tonight?
know
Let's
what you
go."
sound
Matter
like
of
when you
fact, you
did that,
don't even
King?
come in this live if your clothes are on. We're gonna be in
That
here.
you sound like Art LeBeau from our Southern California
We need it
radio station
moving. We need
when
the
he did the
motion in the
old
ocean.
school R&B music on Sunday nights. Welcome in.
I gotta check on. They could eat it tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna have to come on in. If you don't come on in, I'm coming on in. Let's do this.
And that's when you go hear a big old smack in the back of the head. What you doing?
We Hey, look, you just gotta talk them through it, right? Look, I don't have no ASMR, but let me give you some right now, ladies. Just go to the bathroom and light that candle right now, and listen to the smooth, sultry sounds of me undressing you emotionally. Take off your towel, girl. Look, you do that. There, I have about 1,000 people in that damn live doing that, man.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Between you and Kev, and when Kev was doing that earlier, I was like, you and King is like, it's like commercial zone. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
and
Let's take a break.
midnight, good as shit. You ought to
Oh,
hear him.
midnight, yes.
Y'all about to get
Midnight too.
yourselves in trouble.
Yo, I had to shut down the
Come on,
office for a
midnight,
little
your
bit
turn.
though.
I had to shut down the office, so because my baby's sick, so I can't really like be off in there too often right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, go in your car. This is midnight.
It's midnight for a reason. We about
I'm in
to.
places that you don't want me to be, but I'm going anyway.
We go where the sun is. Ain't the sun ain't up.
All right.
You about to see hobo eyeballs in here. Like, what's going on?
we it's too soon for another one, baby. It's too soon for another one. We're trying to deal with this one right here.
Oh boy.
You always do
Man,
like
I,
me to
I
get your tube
appreciate you
side.
all. I gotta get going. I'm on the road. I'm getting ready to head out, but I appreciate
Where
you,
you think you
Kev.
going,
Everybody
lovely?
on the panel, King. Be ready for my email because I told you about what was going on last night with stupid AT&T.
Mm,
Definitely.
I was mad at them for getting rid of my website, or moving it to a third party and not notifying me,
I take
basically.
care.
So
I take care of you.
I'll be hitting you up. And Leona, as always. And I
See
know
you later.
Still Poet, she dropped down. She dropped down, but always grateful and appreciative to have people in a life that have similar and are trying to move in a direction of just understanding. So I appreciate you all.
Thank you.
understanding.
Likewise.
For sure, man. For sure, man. Appreciate you, man. Coming through. For coming through.
Yep, Kev, you well past 6 minutes, brother.
Uh-oh. Right.
Well, good night,
So
everybody. See
Good
y'all
so
night.
as the
tomorrow.
good
All right, for sure. Thank you for coming through. Who's next?
All right, Kev, I'm gonna drop down and let you do your thing, brother. But you have a
All
great
right, all
evening. And if
right.
you're on tomorrow, I'm gonna try to get on with you.
oh yeah, for sure, man. I'm gonna be on. Yeah. I got a part four. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about the culture thing again. We got it now. All right. And midnight, I catch you
All right,
too. I don't
y'all.
know if you
Yeah, I was
for
about to
sure,
say
man.
I'm dipping out, so y'all have a good
All
one.
right. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Lady Play, man, thanks for coming through. You know what I'm saying? Sticking through, you know. I'm gonna be on tomorrow. We gonna get the fun and the party started. We gonna get it started. We ain't gonna be talking about paying on a toilet hoe for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And we were putting the toilet seat down. We done mixed them together. It was us putting the toilet seat down. Now we talking about pee on the toilet. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I King Peace. And that's what we need to live with is peace. You know what I'm saying? That's my favorite word, peace. All right, y'all. Let me see, make sure. People don't fell asleep in here too. Wow.